All right, we are live. Welcome everybody to the Horror Hangout live stream. And this is the all slasher special. Yeah, nice. With our regular horror hangout crew, the Trash Picture Show.
Yay.
Jen's reviews from the grave. That's Jen and Christian. A Horror Miser Monty G.
Yay.
And our special guest this month, Mr. Strange Monkey Reviews.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. So glad everyone can make it today. It's going to be a really fun one. I went a little crazy with all these questions.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Because what can I say? I love slasher movies. I think it's a very important part of the horror genre. One of my favorite subgenres of horror. And yeah, so shall we get started? Let's get right into it.
Of course.
So the first topic of the evening will be the top 3 proto-slashers or prototype slashers that set the template for what would become in like the 80s slasher boom, you know. Yeah, who would like to go first?
I'll give it a go.
All right.
So I don't know. You guys know way more about slashers than me, but Deadly Weekend. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Kind of like not the best. I actually can buy it thanks to Ethel's watch stream of it on 13 Originals. The kind of dickhead doctor from Reanimators in it, and he's pretty good. A bit silly and a hell of a lot of padding, but yeah, the foundation work there is there. If I had to cite another one, Black Christmas. Then again, everyone knows about that Black Christmas.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the whole the also the urban legend kind of thing of the babysitter being rang and like have you checked the kids or I'm in the house.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, when it's
And this one might be a stretch, but no one ever brings it up. Peeping Tom.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
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 Yeah, like the POV shot with the tripod,
Right.
the spiked tripod, like going into the neck. I was found that creepy, and I felt so sorry for the director because he was so before his time, and he literally got ostracized because people are like, "Oh my God, this movie's so grotesque," or "This movie's so depraved," and like if he had made it maybe 10 years later, he would have been like lauded as like Hitchcock and the like. But they're my three anyway.
Yeah.
Seemed like people didn't seem like people were ready for it
Yeah.
at that time.
Yeah. Great choices.
Mm-hmm. Hey, full moon.
Yo, Moon.
Hey, Moon.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
Peeping Tom, excellent choice. Yeah, that pretty much ruined his career, didn't it? Like,
Yes, it did.
Unfortunately.
So sad.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, how about you, Jen and Christian?
Okay, well, surprise, surprise. Marty had one of the ones that I also picked, and it is Peeping Tom. And I agree with Marty. Like, it ruined the poor guy's.
It's a tragedy.
It reminds me of Todd Freaks.
Yeah,
Freaks.
yeah, Todd Bowing's career.
It reminds me. It's very similar to when he did Freaks. People just weren't ready for it, and it's a shame. But then it also is kind of cool that movie. Like sometimes we need.
It eventually found its audience.
It did, and it sucks that it ruined his career. But also, I think it's important to have movies that people aren't ready for. That's shocking. I don't know. I think there's something very awesome about movies that are a little ahead of its time, and Peeping Tom is definitely one ahead of its time. And it's still kind of brutal, even by our eyes. Maybe it's not as brutal as it was in the time, but I think it was, and I think it's probably. I would argue that would be my vote for the very first slasher. That would be my vote for it. But another one that I would say, because I'm a Joan Crawford girl, would be Straight Jacket. The really cool thing about this is
nice.
when you went to the movie theater, you actually got little cardboard axes.
Yeah.
And it's just Joan Crawford being Joan Crawford. It's basically like whatever happened to. I mean, she's going crazy.
It's whatever happened to Baby Jane, copyright-free version.
Basically, a different story, but it's very similar. You can see some similarities, and just if you believe Mommy Dearest's book, just her whole personality, and and I like that it's a woman in this one because slashers.
Yeah, for the time, it was very different to see a female killer.
Because you at that time you don't see that many women slashers. It was always males.
Yeah, and so you got to tip. She might have been a horrible mother, but she represents women in crazy. You can't outdo Joan Crawford with crazy. Yeah. So I will go with Straight Jacket. And the last, I had two, Sean, and I couldn't pick between the two of them, and I'm sure other people will have them on the list. But I think they're both very important. So it's a toss-up between Halloween and Psycho. And I know somebody sitting next to me has ideas about if Psycho's even a slasher. I think it is. I think it is because, again, for the time, it was so shocking and like, oh my God, because that was the first time we ever saw, a heroine of the movie die. And that was like, oh my God. So I think it is. And I also think it's genius because Anthony Perkins, he's so scary. And I'm not being like, I really believe that, like that last scene when his eyes are crazy, it gives you a chill, but he's also probably the most sympathetic horror villain ever. Like, I really believe that. Like you're with him. You have sympathy for the poor guy. And Halloween, I have to put in there because I think for modern people, that's what most people are going in. And I'm not trying to, I love Halloween, but I think that it's what we all think of it, the boogeyman scene and the closet scene. I mean, it's just when we think slashers and horrors.
Stalking Lori behind the bushes.
Yes, you say slasher, Halloween comes to mind. I think there are other slashers that are just important, but I think to give it a nod to, that's the one most people, at least in our generation, thinks it. True, yeah. So, and I'll shut up now.
And for good reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure, I guess.
So, are you going to rebuttal me with Psycho?
No, I'll save that for a later question, actually. Okay. For my three, I'm going with, this is one where it is more of a mockumentary than a full-on slasher movie, but you can feel influences from it way later on, especially directly influenced with the Friday the 13th series. That being The Town That Dreaded Sundown. I love everything. I love everything that the movie. I love the weird, grimy feel the movie has. I love all of the director's movies. He really captures like this kind of. He kind of like perfected the whole idea of like the Mondo film without exploiting actual people. Yeah. I love that whole. I love how grimy and sleazy it is. Yeah, I love that one. Of course, Peeping Tom.
Have to.
It is the first slasher movie. It is one of the best films of the '60s, in my opinion. It is just an absolute stone cold classic that needs way more acknowledgement than it ultimately gets.
And it's a hell of a good movie. Yes. On top of all that, it
really does. It really does.
And since Marty already mentioned Black Christmas, I'll say TCM. I'll say Texas Chainsaw Massacre for like, it really set the groundwork of like a bunch of like horny teenagers going into a place they shouldn't and them getting picked off one by one. It's kind of the first film that immediately comes to mind when I think of like that trope.
Absolutely.
I don't remember them being horny teenagers though. I think they were just teenagers.
Yeah, they were kind of horny. They're
horny. Teenagers. They're automatically horny.
Yeah, they're kind of,
There's a little in there.
It was the 70s, Monty, and they were in a van.
There's some loving going on that man.
Since I'm a 70s kid, I can agree with that.
Yeah. And Marty and I were talking about TCM, and like really, you could look at it that way, or you could look at it as a psychological detriment to a poor, mentally challenged person, and these asshole kids coming into his house and tormenting him. Yeah, absolutely. So there's really two ways to look at that movie.
Hey, Hobbs.
Fuck off!
All right, full moon, boring.
I disagree with you on that one, my good sir. I take great offense to that one.
Me too. What's up, Hobbs?
What's up, Hobbs?
Hey, Hobbs.
All right, how about let's hear from our distinguished guest this evening, Mr. Strange Monkey.
Okay, let me just say, Black Christmas is not overrated. Let's get that. An influence, though, on slashers, I will say yes, because that is on my list of 3 films, because that was that's what influenced Halloween, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
That's
it is.
what,
Yeah,
John
certainly.
Carpenter
Carpenter-
was influenced by Black Christmas.
Right. So I will say Black Christmas is definitely one of those films because proto-slashers. And earlier today, my mind went blank. I'm like, what the hell's a proto-slasher? I was like, wait, prototype. So I want to say Psycho would be another one because at that time, the marketing was genius.
Mhm.
Nobody had ever seen anything like that before.
Greatest trailer in
once-
movie history.
I agree, definitely. And the shower scene, of course, is iconic. And I could only imagine what went through people's minds when they saw something like that.
Yeah.
And I also have to say Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Horny teens, I have to say, it was just a hot day and they were all annoyed with one another.
Okay, fair
So-
enough.
and the word raw is always associated with that movie, just
Yeah.
for that grindhouse feel to the movie and whatnot. It was just very shocking. And I would say that's another one. So that's my top three.
Excellent.
Great choices.
Excellent choices.
Thank you.
All right, Monty G.
Okay, so obviously I had to go with Psycho, mainly because
Nice.
you have the shower scene and the fact that the main star is killed off, and of course Anthony Perkins. What more can you say about that particular role? We
The
all go a
legend.
little mad sometimes.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mother.
Mother.
Mother, what did you do?
Blood.
Mother, blood.
Oh God, blood.
Obviously, Black Christmas. I did that. Black Christmas was one of the few movies I did not see in the theaters when it first came out. I actually saw that later on as I got older, and I saw Black Christmas, and I was very intrigued by that film because at the time during the 70s, a lot of directors were trying to shock audiences, especially when I Spit on Your Grave first came out. And because of that, you have all these, you had The Last House on the Left, and then you have Black Christmas, and then eventually you get the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's like, let's outshock the audience. Let's do something shocking that we haven't seen on film before.
Yeah.
So that's why I picked Black Christmas, because the fact that Billy gets away.
Billy,
Yeah.
yep, he's still out there.
He's
To
still
this
out
day,
there.
he's still out there.
He's
That
still
shape-
out there.
The chase scene when he goes after Jess, that gave me goosebumps. And every time I watch it at night, it gives me goosebumps. I'm like,
Such a great movie.
And of course, since no one's mentioned it, we have to give nods to the original Friday the 13th. Obviously, Pamela Voorhees, she went a little nutty because her son was a bit deformed and she wanted to kill the camp counselors out. Now, of course, those were horny teenagers.
Those were
Yeah.
very
Yes,
horny.
definitely.
That was very horny.
can we sympathize with her though? Or do we
yes.
blame her for?
Yeah.
I sympathize more with Jason
Yes.
than I do
Yeah,
her.
yeah, of
I
course.
mean, I understand the fact why she was upset, but she went a little overboard with the
I
killing and the
agree.
stabbing
A
and
little
the
bit.
beheading.
I don't know. I kind of have surprisingly, I have sympathy for it because I mean, if it was your son, like if it was one of my boys, I'd kill for my boys.
I mean, knowing what we know
Yeah,
now,
being
I'd
a
be-
mother, yeah.
Yeah. Knowing what we know now, I'd be more angry at the search and rescue people for not looking for him close enough because evidently he's somewhere off in the woods. He's fine.
Yeah, but those damn horny teens, if they hadn't been screwing, maybe he wouldn't have drowned. Remember
He
that?
didn't drown though.
She even says that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're making
Their
love
own
with a
fault.
young
They were
boy
having
drowned.
Having sex, my boy was not a good swimmer. Well, what is he doing? What's he doing in the lake if he's not a good swimmer?
Yeah.
That's not the point, Monty. Don't judge.
Yeah,
Oh, you
Who
gotta get
sends their-
technical now, huh?
who sends their mentally challenged son to a lake fucking campsite if they can't fucking swim? It's like that's a recipe for disaster.
I'm starting to wonder.
Here,
if she might
Jason,
just-
all these matches and kerosene while I go fucking unload the car.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever thought of that.
yeah, wow, I haven't either, but you bring up a good point.
Sometimes you just need a break, guys. You guys don't understand. Sometimes you just need a break and you just hope things work for the best.
Exactly.
Yeah, so those are my three.
Good
Yeah.
choices.
Excellent
good choices.
choices.
Good
Everybody,
choices.
excellent choice. Very impressive. So my list would be let's go the whole rounds here. Black Christmas.
The love.
There's just no doubt it has to be in there. It has to.
Mm-hmm.
Second choice gonna be Alice, Sweet Alice.
Oh,
good choice.
I
Very good choice.
was wondering if somebody's going to pick that one.
Yeah, I just
that
thought
that I saw in the movies.
I mean, as far as the atmosphere, like in that movie, is just incredible, and it has so many nods to older style horror too, like the Giallo especially.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so.
And yeah, I mean, you got the mask killer there with the very creepy mask and the knife, wielding the butcher knife, you know. And my last choice is going to actually be a Giallo, Blood and Black Lace.
Oh,
choice.
Good one.
No Halloween, Sean. I'm shocked.
I'm surprised too.
Honestly.
I was expecting it.
Well, you know, I mean,
to see Michael up.
There were films before Halloween that set this template, I think. The prototype. And I think,
True.
Even though Blood and Black Lace is a Giallo, I think it also set kind of the template for slashers, yeah. The guy had that bleeded claw thing. I'm like, yeah, that's slasher gold right there.
Great choices. Very good.
Thank you.
Really good choices.
All right, guys. So next we have the slashers square off, and we have a 3-rounder.
Oh
this
boy.
time. Yeah. So this I'm very interested to hear you guys' thoughts on. My Bloody Valentine versus the Prowler. Mr. Trash Picture Show, you go.
I'm not a big fan of either of them, but as far as kills go,
Really?
I actually think I think the kills in Bloody Valentine are just a bit better, especially where the pickaxe goes through the bottom of the guy's fucking jowl and knocks his eyeball out. I was like, how the
Oh
fuck
my
did they
God.
do that?
Hey, Dino. What's up, Dino?
What's up, Dino?
Hey, Dino. Like, it's just the kills were pretty kind of like kills were pretty out there. Not to say that the Prowler wasn't good, but I gotta give it to My Bloody Valentine for kills. That's my opinion.
Gotcha.
Especially in the uncut version, right?
Uh-oh.
What's wrong, Christian?
Nothing, friend. Nothing at all, friend.
He has something to say.
Might. Okay, I guess I'll go next then. The Prowler is my favorite 80s slasher movie.
Nice.
Straight up, it is my favorite. I love, and I've been talking about this a lot, I guess, especially with the recent Fear Street movies, but it has the main thing I look for with a slasher movie is it has characters I really like and a story that I find engaging with good kills on top of that. And an interesting killer. Everything about it just works well for me. I'm going to be honest, I'm way more into the remake for My Bloody Valentine than the original. I'm not that crazy about My Bloody Valentine, honestly. Like, it has its place and it has some good bits in it, but it's never done much for me. I'm more of a remake. I'm more a fan of the remake, honestly.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, well.
Here's where you, and then there's you.
And then there's Jen.
And then
Okay,
there's Jen.
guys, and I because I feel like I'm going to be the lone woman out on this one. I don't like the bloody Valentine. I don't like the remake. I don't like the original. I've never gotten why people like it. It's cool, Marty, and you, Christian, that you guys like it. I get it. But why? I don't.
I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this. No, I'm kidding.
Look. If I given you a ring, you better be fucking taking it off. I'm kidding. Like I just fucking. No, you're right. You're right. I prefer the kills. But story wise,
Yeah.
Somebody send Jen a heart-shaped box.
I get like it's cool if you guys like it, but I honestly I've always tried to be honest with everybody on the channel just for opinions wise. And My Bloody Valentine is one like fine. It's perfectly fine. I don't like the do you like the remake, Jen? No, not really. But the Prowler, on the other hand, I don't love it to your extent.
No.
I don't love it to your extent, but I think it's fun, and I definitely find it way more engaging than My Bloody Valentine. It's very unique.
It's a very unique film, and also it's just like I acknowledge he's done better work, but it's my favorite effects Savini's ever done. I think it's Savini's best work.
There's another movie on the list we'll talk about, but
I love Savini's effects in that. It's just everything works
great
so
stuff
damn
in
well.
there.
I love this, and I really like the story and the characters. Honestly, I think it's really unique for the time.
Yeah, so my vote's gonna. I think Prowler just knocks out that pitch. What the pitch?
The pickaxe.
Pickaxe, yeah.
Pitchfork kills pickaxe.
Pitchfork, yeah, pitchfork versus pickaxe.
So, yeah. Don't hate me.
I guess
right, how
I'll go
about
next.
yeah, go ahead.
I don't remember a whole lot from the Prowler, and that's because I fell asleep when I was watching it. That's when
I've heard so many people say that.
Let me explain. This was when the last drive-in with Joe Bob Briggs came back, when he did the 24-hour marathon.
Okay.
And I had watched it on and off all day because I had to work, and then at night I was watching the Prowler. I fell asleep, and I woke up on and off watching it. I'm like, what's going on in this movie? And all I remember is just the way they shot it. You know, it looked very unique. The kills, I remember there was a shotgun kill in there.
Yes,
something.
There was.
And the use of color, it was like blue and green, like with certain camera angles and stuff like that. It's just, I remember the kills being very unique and the practical effects. I didn't know Tom Savini did the effects for that movie. Yeah. Very cool. So it's hard for me to compare, but I have to say My Bloody Valentine had a lot of awesome kills.
It does.
I watch that movie every single Valentine's Day, every chance I get.
Me too.
It's just not fair for me. Like for me to compare it, it's just I don't know. I have to rewatch the Prowler. Something told me I should have done it a long time ago, but I got to go with My Bloody Valentine. Until then,
I respect that.
Very
I respect that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the remake? Have you seen the remake?
The remake was okay. I mean, I liked the switch that they did, the twist ending. I thought that was cool, but I think that's when the 3D, phenomenon started up again. Not a bad attempt, but I prefer the original.
I can see that.
Got that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Monty G.
Okay. As much as I appreciate what the Prowler did, the way
I feel that's
looks,
going to be their constant sentiment in this stream.
and it does have its place in horror, but I have to go with My Bloody Valentine because I actually like both the original and the remake. I like what the original did. It was great fun. It was great practical effects, great kills, and I like what the remake did. We have a different type of story. We had one of the Winston brothers from Supernatural. Supernatural.
Oh right, yeah.
He was in it right there, and I really enjoyed what My Bloody Valentine did, and the Prowler's good, but I just prefer My Bloody Valentine better. Sorry, Jen.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I'm usually the odd girl out. That's fine.
Oh, it's really, really tough for me. Because I do love the Prowler, so I'm very much with Christian on the fact that it's underappreciated.
Very.
It's definitely the lesser known of the two.
Yeah.
And you got the amazing practical effects by Tom Savini, and I like the premise of it.
Me too.
Yeah,
and
it's very different.
Great look for the killer, and I always find it so funny that he picks a pitchfork as his weapon of choice when he's a veteran of the army. Like, why is he using a pitchfork? Why isn't he using a
Farm boy. I always
shotgun
assumed farm boy.
or something? Or...
Bayonet probably would have made a bit more sense, admittedly.
I love that scene. The shower is nasty though when he gets the woman in the shower.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have to go with the classic My Bloody Valentine. Like Strange Monkey said, I watch it every Valentine's Day. It's like a must.
I mean,
Like,
how can you not? You know,
That's the first thing I want to do on Valentine's Day is
Watch My Bloody Valentine.
Okay. I thought you were going to say go on a fucking kill spree, but okay, that's all right. So
I love
That's
that
for the
song
afternoon.
too, like on
That's
the
on
credits.
Yeah.
for the legend they say on a Valentine's Day.
Yeah, really, the killing is for date night part.
Yeah,
of
the
it.
mass killing sprees for like the afternoon or the date night.
The date night,
Yeah.
I'd say. The date night.
And I actually do like the character work in Bloody Valentine. I kind of like the whole
too.
love triangle thing. It brings something different to the slasher movie.
Yeah.
Who would expect something
Oh.
like that?
You can always feel the tension, like just right when the fight's about to break out. Like, oh shit, here we go.
Yeah.
Hey, Dylan.
What's up,
Go,
Dylan? Death Central.
Hello.
He just-
Welcome.
hey, dude.
Good evening.
But yeah, that's a real close one for me.
My poor little veteran boy is dead, though. He had no chance.
I'm with you, boy.
4-2.
I love that part though when he shows up at the door. I'm ready for our date,
Yeah.
Rosemary.
Yeah, it's great.
With the rose. All right, I think we got a real barn burner here. We got
But,
Battle of
Tish.
the Summer Camp Slashers.
Uh-oh.
Sleepaway
Oh.
Camp versus The Burning.
Oh, this is gonna be a thing.
It's going to be a close one here.
This is gonna be a
Ooh.
thing.
All right, Trash Picture Show, go.
Well, for everything Cropsy has, what he doesn't have is a Mickey. And at the end of the day, but no, just I think that the shock ending of Sleepaway Camp is just it's actually Jen that made me appreciate the movie more because the way I looked at it was, but if the ending wasn't there, it would have fallen into obscurity. But no, just Jen said no. There's a lot going on in this movie, and if it hadn't been for censors, a lot more could have been delved into. So
Yeah.
I have a lot to thank her for that. And it's a really well made movie. It's not a perfect movie. Some of the deaths are really fucking cool. I mean, where the cook gets the broth or the water spilled on him. Or
He
like,
deserved it.
He did.
He deserved it.
Pedo cook, Marty, the pedo cook.
Yeah, he deserved it. Doesn't she end up killing little kids as well? Isn't there a bunch of?
Yeah, she
Not that
kills
I'm
kids.
condoning that or anything, but I was like,
Yeah.
fuck, this movie's got balls, literally. But yeah, I think it's way more fleshed out. The burning, the kind of Cropsy myth, I think that's springboarded from basically an urban legend. While Sleepaway Camp is a lot more fleshed out. There's a lot more going on, and as Jen said, there is way more to explore and look at into Sleepaway Camp than there is The Burning. Just my 2 cents.
Well, he's right. He's agreeing with me, so he's right.
Not wrong.
You better give me that 20.
Marty, you didn't say your lines right. We rehearsed this earlier.
Fuck you.
You gotta love that. You gotta love that other cook too. He's like, they're too young to know what's on your mind.
Yeah, that's
He's like laughing.
I never think that was James Earl Jones' dad.
Yeah, that is his dad. Yeah.
Yep, that's James Earl Jones' dad.
Yeah, pedophilia is a funny thing. That's just so. That movie is sleazy. Like that.
Yeah.
Really, if you look at it, it's sleazy for a lot of reasons.
A lot of reasons.
In the best way
It is.
possible. So
Jen and Christian, go for it.
Hugo, this is your baby. This is your little baby.
See, I have nothing to say about Sleepaway Camp. I have nothing to say. No, I'm gonna have to. It's not gonna surprise anybody who's watching my stream. I do like The Burning. Like
Burning's a good movie.
The Burning is good, but I agree with Marty. It's done very well, but we've seen it done before.
Yeah,
it's done very good. I like it, but Sleepaway Camp, like Marty was saying that I told him we rehearsed earlier. No, but what I was saying with that is there is a lot more subtext in Sleepaway Camp, and people don't. I think like everyone just remembers the ending with the with she's a boy and the big reveal, but there was a lot. There was a lot to say about mental illness. There was a lot to say about homosexuality. There, for the time period. That scene with the two men in bed where the kids were watching, that was pretty heavy duty for the time. I mean, it's even kind of risky maybe now, just not as much, but a little bit. And I think it was a little smarter than people give it credit for. Like, I think it just couldn't get away with a lot. And mental illness is a big taboo too. We have the aunt, the crazy aunt, played brilliantly. I love that actress's performance. And I just think that there's so much to say about that movie. So I definitely am going to give it to Sleepaway Camp, and it's not just because there's a dick in it. Although that with Jen, that always makes points.
It's always a bonus.
So, but that's not the only reason. It's not just the dick.
Penis, Jason Alexander. Penis, Jason Alexander. I'm gonna go penis. I love The Burning. I think it's a really great camp slasher movie, but Sleepaway Camp is possibly the cornerstone of camp slasher movies. Like Friday the 13th.
You're goddamn right.
Friday the 13th will always be the most well-known and famous camp slasher movie, but to me, I think Sleepaway Camp is easily the best one. It is the most interesting story-wise. All the kills are great. The characters are memorable. Angela is a very sympathetic and nuanced character that you can do a lot with. And I'm gonna go with that one. I'm gonna say Sleepaway Camp. As much as I love me some Jason Alexander, but
wow. So far, Sleepaway Camp's on a roll.
I know.
All right, Mr. Strange Monkey, what do you say? What say you?
I gotta go with Sleepaway Camp.
Nice.
Don't get me wrong, I like both films. I do think that both killers are victims of unfortunate incidents.
Yeah.
That it just wasn't their fault. It was just shit happens.
Yeah.
What was his name? Cropsy?
Cropsy.
Yeah, like he just vicious. But I do think that and shout out to Jason Alexander with a full head of hair. That's the only time we have ever seen.
Yeah, I know, that's the only time I've seen him.
But I do agree with Christian. Sleepaway Camp had more memorable characters, and the ending, of course, was very shocking. But yeah, I had more fun with Sleepaway Camp. I think it was much more better. I can't say the same for the sequels. I don't know.
We want to talk about the sequels.
But Son of Sleepaway Camp has a caveman.
Why not? Why can't
Part
we talk
2 is pretty good. Like Part 2, it's not on the same level, but it's fun.
I will say that
2 is okay.
2 was okay, but I think it had a weak ending. But 3, they were.
3, we go.
I heard they shot it back to back, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
they did.
And I could just tell the money was running out halfway through, and that poorly put together Sleepaway Camp 4 and Return to Sleepaway Camp. No, thank you. I just
I'm with you there.
yeah.
But Son of Sleepaway Camp has a caveman.
Oh God, here we go.
And
Return.
Where'd you dig this movie from, Christian?
Actually, Christian, if you want to see a decent caveman movie, there's an I can't remember who the old actress is starting. It's called Trog.
Yeah, I know Trog.
Oh, okay, yes.
It's a good movie. It's no Son of Sleepaway Camp, though. That one has a caveman in it. That one has.
They slapped the name on it. They just slapped the name on it.
That's why it's so good.
Marty, you've seen Trog, have you?
I haven't seen Trog, but I've seen Hegar with Richard Kiley, who played Jaws. It's basically a caveman bombing around the desert, kidnapping women. Great movie.
But what about caveman lawyer people? What about caveman lawyer?
Yeah, you need some caveman lawyer up in here.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just a caveman.
Your world frightens and confuses me.
Nice. Love it.
I do too.
Okay, but obviously I gotta go with Sleepaway Camp.
This is not going the way I thought it was.
Yeah.
nothing against the burning and nothing against that, but and you know, you get some early stars with Jason Alexander, some other stars getting their first turn, and you got to start somewhere as an actor.
I think Holly Hunter's in it as well, if I'm not mistaken. That was one.
Yeah, I think
right,
she's in.
Yeah.
I think she's in it as well. But obviously, you know, you got to go with Sleepaway Camp. You know, I actually saw that when it came out in the theaters too, and of course, when that scene happens, everyone drops their drugs. There's no one was expecting that at all. It's like, wow, that's a twist. You gotta love it. You know, we get some interesting kills in the film. You know, with the pedophile being boiled to death, and then the bees. You know, bees up out of that one as well.
Yeah,
I forgot about the bee kill.
Not the bees.
Not the bees. Yeah, you got Nicolas Cage.
My eyes.
Oh man.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely got to go with Sleepaway Camp.
Awesome.
Sean, are you
All
going
right, well, shall we round it out with a clean sweep?
Whoa, I did not see this happen.
Clean sweep.
Hell yeah.
It's just more memorable, you know. There's a lot going on there with the subtext and the dark undertone, and the funny thing is, so many people think of it as such a serious movie, but like, there's a lot of goofy stuff going on there too. You know, like Aunt Martha and oh man, and they the fact they play baseball in there for like 15 minutes. With their half shirts on the
live, Rick.
Shit and live, Rick.
What about the panty raid that Jen seems
yeah,
that was in 2.
That was in 2, yeah.
That was in 2.
Oh, in 2.
Yeah, that was in 2. But the penny rate is great. Like, can I ask you guys?
Oh my God!
I have to because I brought this in my stream. Okay, like, because Christian is the youngest, and you think he'd be. I was fine with the panty rate, and Marty was like saying no. Do you guys think the panty rate's like a bad thing? Because I think
Jen, I told you, if any of us robbed women's knickers, we'd be on a fucking watch list. Seriously, can you imagine fucking?
I don't even
okay
remember.
with me fucking hopping a fence, grabbing some fucking young one's knickers, having a whiff, and then fucking putting them aside for later? Is that what you're saying? You're saying, oh, boys will be boys.
I'm saying 12 or 13-year-old Marty. It would be cute. It would be sweet. 12, 13-year-old Sean. 12, 13-year-old strange.
That's how fucking Dexter gets started.
No.
That's how Dexter gets fucking started, Jen. Okay.
Yeah.
No.
What do you guys think? Like, anyone think it's charming?
No,
I don't even remember that happening. I don't even remember.
No,
it was in part 2.
It sticks out in Jen's mind.
That's
yeah. See,
Sean, what about you? Come on, help.
I remember the scene. That's all I can say.
You think it's charming, right?
Shoot,
no, because if my mother found out that I did that at that age, that's an ass whooping.
It's a little creepy.
Man.
Guess I'm odd girl out. Okay,
Jen, do you want me to call you a medevac? Because this is the hill you're gonna fucking die on if you keep on fucking going on with this, okay?
I just had to ask. I know it doesn't have anything to do with the stream, but the panty raid was brought up, and I just had to get other guys' opinions. I asked Marty, and I thought maybe Marty and Christian were just being prudes, but apparently I'm just a pervert.
Well,
Christian, keep an eye on your younger brother, because I don't trust your fucking man. That's all I'm gonna say.
Can do.
And yeah, so you do gotta give credit to the birding, though. You had some awesome effects work once again by Tom Savini. That legendary scene on the raft, everybody knows it. Yeah. Fantastic.
That was a
and
great
the
scene.
makeup job on Cropsey, such a cool makeup job too. And but the thing, like Jen said, you know, it had been done before, so but for that reason, it doesn't stand out as much, I think. You know? Even though I do kind of like the idea of the legend of Cropsey, how they took that aspect to it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It was executed really well. It was.
Yeah, it was. It really was.
No, I've not seen the documentary yet.
Oh yeah, I have. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice. No, I haven't seen that.
It's great.
On the burning or Tom Savini specifically?
Tom Savini.
It's just Tom
Tom
Savini,
Savini,
yes.
Gerald.
Okay. Interesting.
All right, Monty G, you came up with this one. Hell Night versus The Visiting Hours, which I just saw last night for the first time. Why don't you start it up?
These are two underrated slasher films. You know, you have
Yeah.
Hell Night with Linda Blair, and decent, very good one-off slasher film. I like the villain in this one, sort of like kind of a Jason-esque character. You know, who's deformed, but he's no joke, and the kills are vicious. And then you have Visiting Hours, where you have the great Michael Ironside playing the slasher. And I thought those two were pretty good. But I have to give the edge to Hell Night, mainly because of, you know, it's your typical slasher film, but it's great. The kills are brutal, and you have kind of a bit of a sympathetic character, because during the beginning of the film, when the fraternity goes to the Garth house, and he tells the backstory about the family and how the guy killed everyone. And fortunately, they didn't find the youngest son. He was still in the mansion. And of course, you know, like I said, I just enjoyed that one. So I give the little nod to Hell Night, even though I did love Visiting Hours, and I love the fact that, you know, Michael Ironside plays a good killer in that one too. But he is only going after one woman in that particular film.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
So man, he does make a great slasher killer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She got William Shatner in there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it is awesome. TJ Hooker hairdo there.
Mm-hmm.
That face of his looked real familiar to me.
Yeah. I wish it had a little bit more atmosphere to the hospital's, you know, backdrop.
Mm-hmm.
Really wasn't much to that part of it, like they do with like Halloween 2, that makes it a real thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got to see both of them, Death Central. Those are pretty good underrated slasher films. You got to check them out once you get a chance.
I have to say I've never seen either of them.
Never seen either one, huh?
No, I've been trying to watch Hell Night. You know, I've seen the trailer, and everybody says it's very underrated, and I know Linda Blair's in it and whatnot. So, all I have to do is watch it. I just need to find the time to watch it.
What's up, Night?
Definitely
Night.
check it out.
Hey, Night Watch.
Hello.
Yo, Earth.
That Night Watch, Filthy Dan, Arthur
Arthur.
Brimmer.
Hey, Dan. Hey, Art.
Hey, Marty, what do you think?
I'm actually going to have to pass because I had trouble trying to track down both of these. I could not finish.
You haven't seen him either.
No, I'm sorry about that, but I literally scoured the fucking internet and couldn't find either of them.
Really?
Sorry about that.
Are they that hard to find?
I think so, but
They're kind of
wow.
obscure. They're kind of
obscure. They're kind of hard to
Okay.
find. No, because there's a site, there's a website I know you might be able to find them.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
How about Jen and Christian? I know you've seen them both.
Yes, I have. And again, Jen's gonna have to be a little controversial. I have issues with fucking Hell Night. Like when I was a little kid, that cover was iconic, and little Jen was like, "Oh, this looked so cool." And I brought it home. And I was like, "Oh, cool! The chick from Exorcist is in it." And she got a Razzie. She was nominated. Oh, she didn't get one, but she was nominated.
Nominated for a Razzie. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, she
That's
was nominated for
unfortunate.
it.
Unfairly.
Unfairly, I will give it that. But I was very bored. Like the cover made it, and it could have just been too high expectations on little Jen's part. But she's holding onto the gate, and I just was expecting something a little different. Didn't care for it that much. Whereas Visiting Hours is kind of in a weird way like Sleepaway Camp. Not that they're anything alike, but it's another movie that has a lot to say because it's misogyny.
Yeah,
that
the whole
movie
thing is misogyny.
That movie is about misogyny, and the whole killer's character, like he grew up and he saw his dad beating his mom, and that's why, and she finally fought back and disfigured the father, and that's why he hates women who fight back. And so again, it's done in a very slashery way, but I think there's a lot to say about it, particularly for the time. So, and even though I'm not a feminazi at all, I do think it has a lot to say, and I think it's very smart. So my nod is going to go to Visiting Hours. Like, I don't hate Hell Night. Well, little Jen hated Hell Night, but as I've gotten older, it's just not for me. It's kind of a meh movie, if I'm going to be honest. But I think Visiting Hours actually has a lot to say. And again, Michael fucking Ironside.
Fucking Ironside.
So
I've never seen Visiting Hours. So I guess I automatically give my vote to Hell Night.
No, you don't.
Okay. I'll give it to Hell Night.
You've seen it, so you're not. I don't buy it.
Yeah, no, I after that raving pitch, I kind of want to watch Visiting Hours now, but I have not seen Visiting Hours yet, so
it's not a perfect film.
My vote goes to Hell Night.
But I think it has a lot to say. I think again, subtext. Especially for the time, I love looking at these older movies that are trying to get away. Like people always say, slashers, there's nothing to them but a kill. But a lot of them, if you look deeper, they're actually trying to say a little bit more
the
than
best
what
ones.
Not all of them, but some of them. And I think that's always cool. So.
Certainly. All right. Yeah. Having seen Visiting Hours, I really enjoyed it, and I definitely need to pick it up on like Blu-ray. Is that on like Screen Factory or Arrow or anything?
It might be on Screen Factory, but I don't think it's on Blu-ray yet.
Hell Night?
No, the Visiting Hours.
I know Hell Night has a Screen Factory release, but I don't know about Visiting Hours.
Yeah, it might, but I don't think it's out on Blu-ray.
With that being said, I'm going to have to go Hell Night because I love Hell Night. Contrary to Jen.
You failed me, Sean. You failed me.
I loved Linda Blair in it. I thought she was really good.
Yeah. And
I think it's got a great gothic tone. I think that's probably why I love it so much. The whole manor thing and I love she's wearing the old Victorian style dress, lighting the candles, and I love the stuff. And I thought it was a cool I thought the whole story, like Monty was saying at the beginning, how they established that at the beginning, the story behind the manor, and that comes into play in real life, even though the whole thing was set up to be a joke, like a prank, but it ended up being true, of course. Some great kills,
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love it. All right, and next should be very interesting discussion. I think the debate is Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 1974 actually a slasher movie? Go, Marty.
There's fragments of a slasher there, but I would definitely put it more in the line of the psychological horror. Like, the thing is, with a slasher, all the antagonists, primarily with a slasher, there's usually one antagonist.
Usually.
And they deliberately target their prey. That's my view of slasher. With this, it's a bunch of teenagers blundering onto a cannibalistic family's property and running afoul their kind of man-child offspring. It's the entire Sawyer family that are just as threatening, not just Leatherface, like the hitchhiker they pick up, the father. It's a clan it's a clan. I see when I think of slasher, I think of one individual with a deliberate context and a deliberate kind of drive to go after his quarry or his kind of victim. With this, it's a case of just wrong place, wrong time, with the worst family on planet. That's how I view it. So there's elements, but by and large, I don't consider it a slasher.
I agree.
Me too.
Jen.
Oh, okay. I actually listening to Marty's argument because I was prepared to come out here and go, yes, it's a slasher. It's a little bit more of a cerebral slasher than others.
It's a lot smarter than usual.
Not to say that slashers aren't smart, but it's a simple story, but it's in a way it's not. It's very psychological and it's very. So I'm going to agree with Marty. I think it borrows certain things, elements from the slasher, but I think it's a little bit more than a slasher. Not taking anything away from a slasher. How many times can Jen use slasher in a sentence? But I think that I think it is more of a psychological thing that borrows heavily from some slasher elements.
6. The answer was 6 times.
That was rhetorical.
Oh,
but
good counting, Sean. I mean, good counting, Christian.
But no, your argument swayed me, Marty. I was actually coming to prepared to give a very different answer, but listening to you, I'm gonna go with Marty. I think he brought up some great points.
What she said.
20 later on. We're even now.
A full moon makes an excellent point there.
It's not a true modern slasher, but at the time it was too much of an influencer on slashes that came after it. I think it falls into kind of and kind of no, as far as I'm concerned. It was like I said, when I grew up during the 70s and I saw this film and seeing how the other films similar to this one, I say it was more I think Tobe Hooper was simply just trying to shock audiences, just like after seeing, I Spit on Your Grave and Last House on the Left and The Hills Have Eyes. And I think that's what he was trying to do, not that this was actually a slasher film. I think as slasher films became more prevalent, I think we decided to add it Leatherface on, but he's not a typical slasher as opposed to say what Michael, Jason, or Freddy. There are more slashers, right? Leatherface, he's just a man child that has a chainsaw and he just does what he does. He just cuts people up because he wants to, because that's the only thing he knows how. He's not after revenge. He has no motivations that say what Freddy does, like Jason does, or what Michael does. So the film, to me, even though it does have slasher elements in it, I really don't consider it a slasher film. It just got pulled into it because of how slashers became popular after Halloween and after Friday the 13th came out. So people just say, let's go on ahead and add the Leatherface on.
Yeah. Really, Leatherface is a victim of circumstances.
True.
Yeah, he really is.
Make some great points there, Monty. Very good insight.
He did.
What were you gonna say, Christian?
I was what she said. I'm with Marty. I was honestly planning. I was expecting the reverse to happen and everyone to say it's obviously a slasher movie, and I was going to be the one to say, how is it a slasher movie? But like it's a proto slasher, and definitely later slasher films took heavy influence from the film and inspiration. But the film itself, no, I don't think it's a slasher movie entirely. It has a lot of elements, but not a full on. It's much more of a psychological film.
Kevin, to answer your question, they both won.
Yeah, kind of.
Jason won.
Strange Monkey, did you have anything further to add to that?
Everybody that answered made good points. Marty said earlier when he thinks of slashers, he thinks of one person stalking the person that he's after, and I say that's a common thing that everybody is when that comes to mind when it comes to slashers. I think, like you said, Tobe Hooper was just trying to shock people at that time, and I put it up there with The Hills Have Eyes, because two cannibalistic families wrong place, wrong time.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't see it as a slasher, but it was an influencer at that time. You know, it was, you know, they had some. It's not as brutal as most people think. You know,
No.
it had its moments, but it is iconic because at that time that was controversial, like the stuff that they got away with. But as time went on, you know, with like the 80s slashers, it kind of fell into that category with number 2, and then the rest of them, they were just straight up slashers. But as far as the original goes, I'd have to say no, it is not. It's more of a proto-slasher.
Agree.
Well said.
Yeah.
It's really tough for me because, like Christian said, it's got so many of the classic slasher elements, and it helped establish a lot of those tropes that we think of with these associated with the slasher film. Being in the wrong place at the wrong time, the final girl thing, and the
Oh, excuse me. If you hear any yelling, that's just my wife yelling at the Olympics.
Oh my god!
Wondering what that was.
And you know, you got the mass killer with a bladed weapon.
Yeah.
Granted, you have a whole family of killers, but it's tough because it is like Toby Hooper, like you said, is trying to create a horrific experience overall, you know, which he hugely accomplished, in my opinion. I kind of might have to agree with Full Moon there, where it falls more into the proto-slasher.
Yeah, more of a proto than a
category. So yeah, I guess none of us think that
and then
it
we got to
was.
remember it was taken off of. It was inspired by Ed Gein. Hooper was inspired by Ed Gein to a degree. So
right.
I always forget that. I'm always forgetting.
Yeah.
But
that guy was nuts.
Yeah. Would he be considered a slasher?
No, he only ever killed 2 people officially.
3. I think it was 3.
No, it was 2, wasn't it?
I thought it was 3.
I thought it was.
I thought he killed his whole family.
He might have killed his brother. They're not sure because at the time it was very suspicious how his brother died. So that's why I was
fire cornfield. Both him and his brother went in, and when he came back, the mother died of natural causes. I think he bricked up her room.
Yeah,
and like
he left it exactly like she did.
Yeah, Jen, it might have been only 2, and the rest were corpses he dug up from the local cemetery. Like, he made a fucking lamp out of fucking woman's face.
There was a lot of corpses
There
involved.
were 2 women he killed, and then I always count his brother, even though officially, but it was very janky how his brother died. So in my head canon, I always thought he killed his brother too, probably. But it's never been officially confirmed.
Yeah.
It's really what he did with the bodies that makes it
what
so
he did with the bodies is what makes it so horrific.
The Nazis. He got a lot of inspirations from the Nazis.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was a very sick individual.
Yes.
What's up, Ricky?
Yo, Rick.
Hey, Rick.
Mr. Extreme Horror in the house.
I didn't know about Ed Gein and what he did. I remember at Walmart, like in the bargain bin, they had this DVD that came out talking about Ed Gein, the man that was behind the inspiration behind the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I was like, wait, what? What is this? It's like, I need to see what this is about.
There's a really good movie with Carrie Snodgrass and Steve Railsback. That there's a lot of Ed Gein movies, but the one I would recommend if you really that gets it pretty right. It's not perfect, but it gets it pretty right. Would definitely be it's just called Ed Gein, and it's with Carrie Snodgrass and Steve Railsback, and it's a great movie.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
It's a good movie, man.
Yeah,
interesting.
I seen that one, Janet. It's awesome. Like you see that, like the locals were so used to him, they used to babysit their kids and shit. And it's like, whoa, like,
scary.
I thought there was one with Jeremy Renner, but he was Dahmer. That was not the.
Yeah, he was Dahmer.
Yeah.
And then what was the big guy that played him? There was one that
there was a
Hodder played him.
there was a Kane Hodder one.
Yeah,
it was Kane Hodder one. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought there was a wrestler one too, or am I thinking of something else?
I think you're thinking of Kane.
Okay.
Yeah, Kane. Yeah, but he didn't. He was playing somebody else. He was playing someone that I think it was inspired by Ed Gein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, the Kane Hodder movie?
No, the one that Glenn Jacobs, King,
Oh
the
no,
wrestler.
that's See No Evil.
Yeah, that's
with
seen
Okay.
Evil.
Yeah.
Mm.
I thought there was another Ed Gein movie with a.
I think you're thinking of the Kane Hodder one.
maybe, but I don't know. I probably am.
Okay, let's see. Next topic is we will have a little bit of a open discussion on some of your favorite modern day slashers of now, maybe 2000s and beyond up to now.
Excellent.
Let's start with our special guest this evening, Strange Monkey Reviews.
Does Happy Death Day count?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
it does.
it counts. Yeah.
I mean, it has. I mean, the sequel, they go all over the place. You know,
Sequel, maybe not. But
Yeah,
The
but
sequel
the
is
first
Back to the
one
Future
for yeah, that's some crazy Back to the Future stuff. It's just, but I would say the first one was a pretty solid slasher film. You know, with some comedy elements in there, but was another one I had on my mind. Do franchises count, or just a standalone, or just anything
yeah,
that's
franchise count.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Halloween 2018, of course. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, some people weren't too happy with it. That one was a mixed bag, but I really enjoyed that one.
It's a good movie.
I did too.
I
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Hey, Christian even said.
It's a good
I mean,
movie.
I
It's
don't-
one of the 4 good Halloween movies.
Wow. Four.
You clearly
I-
don't know me very well. I hate
Oh,
Halloween.
No, I do not.
I-
I do not.
No, trust me.
Yeah,
if you
no.
ever want to hear some good rants, Christian's got some good ones.
Get me
I've
talking
seen-
about
Yeah,
Halloween
yeah.
or get me talking about Scream, I will have your ear all day.
I
Yep.
may have to go back and look at some of the Halloween reviews.
No,
But I don't blame you,
Take a look
'cause-
at. I think it was our next to last stream that I host.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Christian gives off one of the
Yeah, the
best
Wes
rants
Craven stream.
The Wes Craven
Yeah.
stream. Oh yes, he gives up one of the
Okay.
best rants about Scream.
And that's on your channel, right?
Yeah, it was on. Yeah, it was on my. I think I
Okay.
hosted that one.
Yeah,
didn't
you
I?
did.
Yeah,
Mom.
you did, Monty.
Okay. Mhm.
Because that franchise, you know, people, they love it, but it has its ups and downs. So I don't blame.
Very
Christian.
big ups or very big downs.
Even I can
very-
admit that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there was
so-
one.
So can I.
The Final Girls. Have any of you ever
Mhm.
seen that one?
That was cute. That was a. I call it one of my guilty pleasure horror films.
Yeah, it was a nice little horror comedy. It was like an homage to 80s slashers. You know, it's just off the top of my head. I know there's so many, and I think that was it. I was trying to remember. I had this saved. I was trying to remember. There was one more, but Don't Breathe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Nice.
that was a really good one. I can't wait for
Yeah.
the sequel. Hopefully, it's just as good.
Me too.
Uh,
Can't wait.
yeah, that's about it for me.
Very good
Good
choices.
choices. Great
Yeah,
choices.
good ones.
Thank
good ones.
Yeah.
How about you, Trash Picture Show?
Not super recent, but I love it, and I'm probably one of the few people who like the sequel. The Collector.
Oh, I love
I like
it.
the idea
Oh,
that
yeah.
It was great.
I forgot
someone
about that
can
one.
break into your house and turn it into a fucking death trap, and just this
Yeah.
guy, he treats his victims like taxidermy kind of insects. He's like he's the exterminator himself, but not only of bugs, but of people. Like I thought that was cool, and I like the premise of the jewel thief, like kind of with the conscience going, oh fuck, I better go in and rescue this child, and
Yeah.
it's pretty cool because that like a lot of horror movies, kind of like when they move on to the sequel, they forget the initial characters, or like 5 minutes in they kill off the hero. In this one, that character comes back. He's kind of fucking. He's
Yeah.
they kind of do an Escape from New York. You got to rescue the president's daughter or some fucking horse.
Yeah.
So
I
he's
love
the,
that
he's,
movie. So
he's
good.
to rescue. I think it's some senator's daughter from a nightclub that the Collector's turned into like this fucking death trap
Yeah.
dungeon, and
Something
he goes
like
in with a
that,
group
yeah.
of Marines or fucking mercenaries or something. That was a bit cheesy, but I still liked it. I like the fact we got to see more into the Collector's
Yeah.
kind of mindset and what he's doing with the people he captures and kills.
I can't
That was
believe
pretty
they. I'm sorry to cut you off. I cannot believe that they abandoned production on The Collected, the third film.
I know, right?
He
Unbelievable.
was going to finish it off. Like
They should.
I've heard they're trying to get a Kickstarter going, but I won't hold out much fucking hope on that though.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
It is.
I mean, there's definitely a fan base there. I think. I mean,
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
I love both of those movies.
They're both great.
It was, you know, guys. It was originally supposed to be a Saw movie, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
a
and I'm-
prequel.
That
it's
makes
supposed to
sense.
be a prequel to Saw.
It was
Yeah.
going to be called the Midnight Man, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken.
Yeah.
But I'm glad it went off and done its own thing. I fucking,
Yeah.
I love those two movies.
I
yeah.
do too.
All right, Jen and Christian, name some of your.
Do you
how about
start
some
or
of
should
your
I?
favorite modern?
Go ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay, a couple ones right off the. I'll get the oldest one out of the way because this one barely, like, it came out I think in January of 2000, but I love the movie so much because it's Scream done right. Cherry Falls. I love Cherry Falls. I think it's so underappreciated. I think
That's
it's
a
so
great movie.
underappreciated. I love everything about that. Is the meta slasher done right, in my opinion. I love everything about that. It's such a clever film. Another one is indie one that very few people talk about is Headless.
Oh, yeah.
I love Headless. There was a movie called Found, and inside that movie there was a slasher movie called Headless, and people like that concept so much they turned it into an actual movie.
Yeah, because
Found is also a great movie.
Yeah,
It's
because
not a
Emma
slasher, but
because Emma from Spooky Astronaut, she actually talked about that, about how you have this movie called Found and there's this other movie called Headless is in it.
Yeah. I love Headless. It is a super. It feels like a movie ripped straight out of like the late 70s. It's a super grimy, like Maniac or New York Ripper style slasher movie. It's super filthy and just disgusting, and it's so good.
and it was a movie within a movie,
Yeah, it
which
was
is
a movie
cool.
within a movie, which was super.
I've been trying to track down. I've been trying to track down Headless for so long, and I found at a oh my god, not Kmart. What is this place called?
Like a Big Lots or something.
Big Lots, yes. And then someone told me that Headless is, the movie within a movie, and you have to dig deep for that one. You have to go on the website, to buy it as part of a bundle. So
yeah. But and then another one, just to round it off, one that came out really recently that surprised me so much was Fear Street 94. I really, really liked Fear Street 94. I think it's really damn cool and unique. Like, I love the cast of characters. Again, it's much like Cherry Falls, where it's Scream done right, in my opinion, because it fixes my big problem of unlikable characters. I love the cast in that film. I think the story's really cool. The kills are all pretty damn excellent, especially like the bread slicer is super memorable.
Man,
I think that thing is going to go down as like a lot of people's like most memorable favorite kills of the year. So yeah, I love that one. Just to name a few. What about you?
Very good choices, Sparky. One that I have to talk about, and I'm sure it's not going to surprise anybody, would be my darling Wolf Creek, Mick Taylor. Oh my God, I fucking love Wolf Creek. It is one of my favorite slashers, and one of the things I love about Wolf Creek is that he does a slasher villain right. I mean, he is a rapist. He's all these things, and yet he is so damn charming. You're rooting for a rapist, and you say,
that charming bastard.
Yes,
so charming.
He's so charming, but he also is as charming as he is when we turn on. And now the second one has issues. I like the second one, but I have issues with it. But in the first one, there are some legitimately chilling moments. There are some just moments where you're going, Jesus. And it came out in a time when horror was kind of very PG-13. And like, I remember sitting there thinking when I first watched the film, and I was thinking, oh, we're going back. This is what I've been aching for a while. This is just this brutal, bloody kind of good time, and just dirty because there's and Mick Dundee, but also
a serial killer.
And it's just I love that movie. I fucking adore Wolf Creek. It's one of my favorites.
Did you see the TV show?
Yes, love the TV show.
We love season 2. Season 2 is so good.
I think that works so well as well because he's a lot more grounded. He's not more boogeyman, and he's based on like Ivan Milat, who was like a backpack killer in Australia in the 90s. So
Yeah, and that was awesome too. But and also he was like like he's Australian, but it was like a redneck. He knew shit.
Mhm.
He knew how to live off the land. And there's something
he's such a fun character because like especially like I remember in the second season of the TV show, there's a point where he's like driving a bus of like tourists around Australia for like half of an episode, and you're just sitting there waiting for him to turn on a dime and just start murdering all of them. It's so good.
The scene I love in the original movie is when he's talking to he's telling him, I'll take you down to my camp. And you can see that like there's a part of his victims that know, like they don't know, but they know, like their senses are up. It's almost like animals, like something's not right with this guy, and they're trying to talk it out of it. But he's a nice guy. He's doing us a favor. It's a very cool scene. I love that movie. I won't talk too much more about it. Another movie that I have to talk about that I think when I think slasher and modern day slasher, and it's getting a sequel in October, would be Terrifier. Oh, that damn clown. That damn clown.
Waiting.
I do.
Everyone's waiting for that.
Yeah,
It was
I love it.
brutal.
But Jen, I can't wait for Wolf Creek 3.
I know, right?
Me too.
That'll be fun.
Me too. Me too. I can't wait for it either. But and I love Terrifier because it's fun. It brings back it's brutal. It's like Maniac 80s slasher, but it's also fun kills 80s slasher. It has best of both worlds.
It's a grimy, dirty movie, but with Freddy Krueger as like the killer. It's still like super messy and grimy, but it's still like comedic Freddy Krueger kind of character.
But better than Freddy Krueger because again, art kind of
it's a strictly physical.
Better? Did you just say better?
Like not better, but in a different way. Like because when Freddy goes,
Monty, get on her.
I'm just waiting for her to finish first before I get on her.
No, I don't mean better. Like he's a classic, but like the later Freddy movies, he was more comical. With art, there is a little bit of comedy to him, but he's also terrifying. That scene in the restaurant where the one drunk friend's like, "You got 8 likes," and the other girl is like, and I would have been the other girl, like, "Dude, really?" And he's just sitting there, and it's funny, but it's also very uncomfortable, and that's such a genius way.
Yeah, that performance is fantastic.
So if you ask me for modern day slashers, those would be those two that I throw my hat in.
Yeah, because that's one of the few things I liked about Terrifier is because it was grimy and dirty, and I love whatchamacallit's performances as Art the Clown, where he could be terrifying and not say a word.
Yeah. Well, he was a mime. He was a mime before he did that,
like
so it came in handy. I think that really added something to the role. So.
Yeah.
Have any of you ever seen All Hallows Eve?
Yes.
Yeah. No. Yes, I've seen it. Yes.
Do you like it?
I like the segments with art.
I liked it.
Yeah, I like some of the segments.
It was okay horror anthology movie. It's not trick or treat, but it was okay.
Yeah,
it's like they were testing the waters with art, but then the sequel had no art, and I'm like, well, that's it. It's over.
No interest.
Well, that's kind of how Terrifier got made, because when he would show the movie and everyone would say, "Oh, that clown, dude." That's kind of what really people love the damn clown, with reason.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
How about you, Monty? What are some of your favorite modern slashers?
One favorite modern horror that doesn't get talked a lot about is Drag Me to Hell. I thought that was a decent horror.
I have so many issues with. I have such a complicated relationship with that film.
I love that movie because before we got Ash vs. the Evil Dead or Evil Dead remake, that was the closest we were going to get to an Evil Dead sequel. That was basically, you could see that movie set
Very
in the same
Evil
universe.
Dead-ish.
Yeah, definitely Evil Dead-ish, but I like the main actress in the film and the fact that she actually goes to hell at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
That's what I liked about that film. Another film that a lot of people didn't like, but I don't know why, was Venom. Not the cartoon.
Okay. I was like, wait, what?
The other
not Tom Hardy's Venom, but I'm talking about the actual Venom. Now, the reason why I like that one is because the killer actually is based on voodoo. Yeah, voodoo, and I like that. Yeah, the characters weren't that great though, but it was still, I like the kills, I like the premise, so that's what I liked about it. I mean, even Method Man has an appearance in this film before he gets killed.
Holy shit! I've seen. Holy shit, you're right. I've seen that movie one time, and the only thing I remember about it is there's one scene where our final girl is like hiding in a pile of bodies of all of her dead friends. Like that's the only thing I remember about that movie.
Oh yeah, that was decent. How she's hiding in her fence, and unfortunately, her boyfriend's in there. Then he gets killed.
Yeah. That's the only thing I remember about that movie.
When did that movie come out? I heard of it.
2009. Can't remember.
7, somewhere in there.
Somewhere in there.
Something like that. Yeah.
And another one is the Maniac remake. I
Yes.
that was decent
Such
horror
a surprise.
film. Frodo Frodo playing the killer, and we actually see everything from his perspective. And I thought it was a great way to show that. To see how delusional his mind was.
It was a great way of doing it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, that movie's so good.
I've only seen parts of it. It was what he does to that woman. Oh my god.
Yeah, scalp.
Yeah, I was like, my god, that looks so real and just brutal.
Definitely does not skimp on the brutality.
No.
All right, so I'm going to I'll name a few of mine. And first one I'm gonna have to say will agree with Jen wholeheartedly. Yeah. I love Wolf Creek. It's the best like new slasher franchise. Maybe not new. It's a little bit old now.
I think his name is John Jarrett. I think that's
John Jarrett.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Just what a great character. Like he just sells it. It could, if you gave it to somebody else, it might be like a typical, wrong place, strong time kind of thing. But such an awesome character. And very proficient killer.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes me laugh too. Like it's funny, but so brutal at the same time.
He's so damn charming.
Yeah, charisma for days.
Yeah.
I love when the guy tries to say he's like Crocodile Dundee. Why don't you say something cool like, "Ooh, that's not a knife. This is a knife," and like the look he gives is like, wow, you did not just say that. I was like cold chill.
Yeah.
And next one I would say is Behind the Mask, the Rise of Leslie Vernon.
Yes.
I love that movie.
Excellent movie.
That movie's so great movie.
And like Scream, it's kind of a meta slasher, but
done right.
I think it's even more creative than Scream.
Yes. Which isn't hard, but that's besides the point.
Let's not go there.
Let's not get him started.
I just gotta get that.
We don't have all night.
I just gotta get my quota in for letting everyone know I hate Scream. It's like a tradition now.
You're forgiven.
And
he's young.
I'll say one that Strange Monkey said too. Happy Death Day. I really enjoy this one. So much fun.
It's a really good movie.
It's even though it's very sleek and modern, it's still got that call back to some of the old school slashers.
Yeah, you got to give Jessica Roth credit because she's great as Tree.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, she was fantastic.
I mean, I think that's the only reason why Happy Death Day to You works is because of her performance.
Yeah,
because the story is way out there, but because of her performance, it stays grounded.
Yeah. I kind of wish it was more of a truer sequel to the original, but it's still a lot of fun.
I wonder if they'll make a third one. It's just going to be way out there. If
Might be way out there.
They don't need to.
They set up one. They had a post-credit sequence with like the CIA.
Yeah, they had a post-credit scene of that, but they really don't need to make a third one.
I think
they're gonna do next like the Breakfast Club or something.
I think the director said, because he made both movies, I think he says that he wants to do a crossover film with Freaky and Happy Death Day. Because it's
that's what I heard.
I
heard that's what he wants to do.
Might work.
Yeah. I liked Freaky a lot.
I did too.
That was fun.
Yeah, Freaky was good.
Yeah.
Last one I'll say, You're Next.
Another movie I have
really
a complicated
enjoyed.
history with.
Yeah.
That wasn't that bad. It's a pretty interesting movie.
And you
It's
got
a-
kind of the whole, the home invasion, the slasher kind of.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies for me where I entirely acknowledge that it is actually a fantastic horror film, but I don't like it.
But you don't like it.
I don't
You're
like
such
it,
a
no.
wallflower
Like,
about your
and I
opinions.
don't even know what about it is that bugs me. Again, I acknowledge it's a great horror film, but I just don't like it. It doesn't work for me.
Too overhyped.
Just
Maybe because I came to that one really late and like everyone was talking about talking it up. Maybe.
Yeah,
I've never
think-
been able to. I've
think that's
never been
what
able to pick that.
because it's the problem I had with Gladiator. Everyone praised how great that movie
Gladiator.
was.
That movie's terrible.
It won Best Picture.
That movie's
But
terrible.
you should hear people were talking about how great it was, how great it is, and then when I went to go see it, like, okay,
That's
it is.
danger.
Are you not
Danger
entertained,
for the
Monty?
last.
Yeah,
I was not entertained. it's an okay film, but it's like, what was everyone's going crazy about this movie for? I just didn't get it. I didn't get it. And I think that tends to happen when people overhype it. You hear too much good stuff about it,
Yeah.
and then when you actually go see it, you're left kind of disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It
The
took
only
me a
good
while
thing,
to watch that one.
The only good thing to come out of Gladiator is the proposed sequel.
The proposed sequel.
Yes, the proposed. This is a real. You can look it up. This was what they really wanted to do for the sequel to Gladiator. Was he was gonna be like resurrected as like a fighter for like Zeus, and the subtitle was Gladiator 2 Christ Killer, and he was gonna go and kill Jesus.
You are kidding.
I am not. I am 100%.
We're really gonna go off the
You can
rails,
look
huh?
that
Way off
movie
the
up.
rails.
That is a real
Ridley
thing.
Scott. Ridley Scott therefore had a hard on for Jesus because he was
Yeah, he
he
did.
was saying the reason the engineers in Prometheus came back was because Jesus was one of them, and that's why they were going to wipe it. He went mad.
Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, no, the whole script, the movie was never made, but the whole script is online. You can read it. It is amazingly terrible.
I have to look this up.
Yeah, it's like Gladiator
man.
2 Christ Killer.
I just can't
Thank
see
God
Russell
that
Crowe
thing
trying to
didn't
do
be,
something like
It's wild.
It's
Just
amazing.
beating Jesus to death with a phone.
That was not gonna
Every fucking
fly.
wine.
Oh my god.
Calm down.
I forgot about the
Calm
phone.
down.
The phone incident. I forgot all about that.
Just give me Russell Crowe unhinged. I'm a happy
Yeah,
girl.
there you go. There you go.
Yeah.
See that was decent. I liked
That was a great
I
movie.
love that
That was a
movie.
fun movie.
Where the
Yeah.
fuck
Good
did
one.
that semi come from?
Yeah, no, that was a great movie. I love that one a lot.
All right, so of course we have to mention the elephant in the room. We must mention the slasher franchises that we all know and love. So now the next one is, what is the best overall slasher franchise? Of course, you can come up with your own, but I'll mention the obvious ones: Halloween, Friday 13,
Boo!
Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream.
Yes, great.
You did it on purpose, Sean, because you knew
Yeah.
Chris was gonna boo.
I love it. That's so funny.
Child's Play,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Psycho.
It's not a slasher
Shut
movie. They're not slasher
All right,
movies.
let's get.
Shut up.
Oh, man.
As usual, you're wrong.
Fair
And
enough.
whatever
I
else
understand.
ones you guys might think of, or that you might fancy more than those, even.
I might have
Uh,
one, yeah. You.
No, good.
I want to say Halloween for sure. It's like at this point, that franchise is like an adventure book. Choose your path.
Choose your adventure.
There's so many
Yeah.
different ways now that you can watch that or those movies. It's insane how many times they decided to reboot it. Just it's something. But I just love those movies, except Resurrection. But
Resurrection.
I forgot for about a month that that movie existed. It was a nice month of not knowing that, and then someone brought it up. I'm like, oh.
A month of not having to think about Halloween. That sounds fantastic.
It's nice. It was nice not to think about, but taking nothing away from Friday the 13th and A Nightmare on Elm Street. Those great franchises. Like I think every franchise has its ups and downs. When it comes to horror, but they're always entertaining. It's
yeah.
Here's a question before Psycho 2, is that a slasher?
Okay, see,
I think it is. I
think it is. I'm with you, Sean.
Okay, see, here's the thing, because I wanted to ask this question.
Without a doubt, the third one is.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the third one's my favorite.
The third one is yes. The third one is yes.
So, half of Psycho is a slasher franchise, but 1 and 2 are not slasher movies to me. 3 and 4 absolutely are slasher movies. I don't think the first 2 are slasher movies. Honestly, they don't feel like it to me. It's really how mature. Yeah, no, I love Psycho 2. It's one of my favorite movies, but no, I don't.
I had to ask that question since we're on the topic of slashers, since Sean brought it up when he took out the DVD, and I've always wondered, what other people think of that.
My problem with the Halloween series is I didn't have a problem with the first one or the second one, and
don't say it. Watch your mouth, boy. Watch your mouth.
Oh, I think I know where we're heading here.
We going there.
And then they decided to give us Season of the Witch,
the greatest movie of the franchise.
The Abomination. The
best movie of the franchise.
Here he goes. Here he goes.
This, right? Wouldn't it have been fucking interesting to get a unique movie every Halloween? An anthology movie every Halloween. Yes, the fucking the killer mask wasn't the best, but it was different. It deviated from the usual fucking Michael slaughtering fucking chicks with no tops on. Like it was just we could have gotten. There was so many avenues open with that franchise and with that movie, and no, we went back to Michael just fucking going around Haddonfield, fucking stabbing lads with Mike. But don't get me wrong, I like the first 2. I like H2O and I like 2018. But it's just the potential that 3 had kind of offset that was squandered, and that could have been a fantastic franchise.
Marty, I'll give you points on all this, but I'll stop you with this. Where the fuck was Michael Myers?
He's in the movie.
No, he wasn't.
He was on the TV. He was on the TV in the bar.
Where the fuck was Michael Myers? I'll say it. I'm gonna say it, people. Because there's other people that agree with me. I won my goddamn Michael Myers in my Halloween. Jen was so pissed when I saw that third movie. I thought they got
He was on the TV. I can give you a time code when he
was there.
Yeah,
he was on vacation.
Jen, you do realize that John Carpenter's original idea was to have a standalone Halloween picture throughout every Halloween, not have a Michael Myers story.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be that little old horror fan that says, I want Michael Myers. Get this shit off my lawn. Give me Michael Myers.
Maybe that would have been fine if you didn't do Halloween 2.
The other reason I like part 3 is
got us to love Michael Myers and iconic killer.
Look, Jen, look, I'm kind of biased as well because they give us the equivalent of an Irish fucking Bond villain. Oh yeah, I'm gonna kill all the children.
He was great though, Colonel Cochran.
He would be a great Bond villain.
The blood would run red on the hills of Ireland. Yeah, fucking
I could see him in a Bond movie. The world's going to change tonight, James Bond. I'm glad you'll be here.
And I didn't even mind when they brought Michael back in Return of Michael Myers, but then they came to that stupid ass Thorn trilogy. Oh no.
Marty, you're wrong. The Thorn trilogy is life. The Thorn
Thorn
trilogy is
was
awesome.
stupid.
I want to get a tattoo of the Thorn cult, damn it, and I'm not kidding. Give me the
I
Thorn
think
cult.
I think Paul Rudd was part of that cult because he hasn't fucking aged a day since that fucking movie. He took Michael's powers after
It's
Power
not.
of rocks.
You may be onto something. That's probably what happened.
Oh no, it's not that Michael is just evil. He has a curse. That's the reason why he kills. Like, oh, who the hell thought that up? It just took all the aura away from him with that goddamn Thorn trilogy.
They threw too much at the wall.
The man in black, damn it. I stand up for Thorn. I don't care. I love Thorn. Thorn was
fucking
awesome.
Johnny Cash is winning.
Should start a whole thing, the Thorn Society.
I'm part of the Thorn cult. I'm
not even going to talk about Resurrection.
No.
Yeah, let's not.
You don't even have to go there.
By the way, Scott Stevens, we don't talk.
Bad, guys.
We don't talk about the Psycho remake. We didn't want no mentioning of the Psycho remake.
What Psycho remake?
I'm fine with that.
It didn't happen.
Yeah, it's not good.
I will talk about Resurrection before that Psycho remake. That Psycho remake was trash.
Yeah.
I will say this: I did discover there's a channel on YouTube called Cole Edits, and he's been taking these movies that people weren't too happy with in the franchise, and he's been doing his own versions of the movie, cutting it down and taking out all the unnecessary crap. And he did a version of Halloween Resurrection called Halloween Homecoming, and it was actually entertaining. And they took it off of YouTube. It's on that BitChute website, and he did a cut of the Rob Zombie remake, and it's the whole movie's on YouTube, and it's actually really good. Like, he adds his own effects on there and whatnot. Not bad.
Nice.
I like the Rob Zombie one.
Oh god damn it! Now we're on to
Oh
this.
boy, here we go.
I don't care what it hate me all. Hate me all you want. I'm at least being honest here. I do. I think now Rob Zombie's 2, we have a lot of issues, but I actually like a lot about Rob Zombie's Halloween. I always have.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk about the sequel. The sequel, no thank you.
No.
The sequel, I see where they're going, but it has
stinking garbage.
It's not that bad. H2 isn't.
It's that bad.
I've said it before. It's like in Tropic Thunder, like Robert Downey Jr. I just take that quote and I'm like, "You went full Rob Zombie. Never go full Rob Zombie."
I just think he just simply made that movie because he just wanted to have his wife in another movie.
I mean,
she was good, like especially.
That's why he just makes movies full stop, Monty. Shit, I gotta get my wife out of the house. What do? Make another fucking movie. Quick.
It's never gonna stop, and I'm okay with it.
What do I want? I like to imagine this now. Like, she's asking him, "What do you want to role play tonight?" And he just looks over to a copy of The Munsters and is like, "I have an idea."
That's probably what happened.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be shocked.
You're probably right.
Yeah. That's.
So, Jen, what's your favorite? Do I even have to ask?
Okay, like I can acknowledge all, like they're all, like whatever anyone says, I can see a point. I think Halloween.
Even Children of the Corn.
Yeah, I actually, you know me,
what about Hellraiser?
Hellraiser, there's really 2 good movies, but for like the main ones, I can see everyone's point, and I think nostalgia plays a part of your favorite ones. Like when you were at a certain time in your life, a certain place, so nostalgia plays a part of it. And for me, it would probably be like Halloween would probably be the right answer, but for me personally, I'm gonna go with Psycho. I don't
It's not a slasher franchise.
Shut up.
The
He
first-
didn't ask Christian. He asked Jim.
The first two aren't slasher movies.
No, because I think the first one was a slasher. I think the second one, it's barely a slasher, but I think it's enough of a slasher. And the last two are definitely slashers. And I think it's a perfect franchise. And Norman Bates is a very like he is the most chilling character I've ever run across, and the most sympathetic character I've ever run across. And one of the things I think that makes that that works so well is a performance by Anthony Perkins. And I said this in my review. I think he could identify with Norman Bates because Anthony Perkins had a lot of secrets and a lot of demons, and so did Norman Bates. And I think he could really understand Norman on a level that maybe another actor couldn't, because he had his own demons he was fighting. He was literally trying to be two people himself, because he was a closeted homosexual, and he was fighting that, and Norman Bates was fighting, two different personalities. So for me, that's always the one. And I love all the movies for very different reasons. I do. So it might not be the most popular answer, but I'm gonna go with Psycho. So, and no, it's not a slasher film.
It's not a slasher film. It's not.
So,
How about you, Christian?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna stick with. I'm gonna say Chainsaw. Like, even though I admit the first film is way more of a proto slasher, the rest of the franchises are slasher films, and there's Chainsaw is the only one out of them where I can say it's the most consistent in quality for me, and it's also the most varied. Like Elm Street, the first three films are bona fide classics. Then the rest of the series is pretty rocky. We got like New Nightmare in there, but the rest of the series is pretty rocky. Halloween, you got 4 good movies and a lot of meh. Friday the 13th, I love, but I will freely admit a lot of those movies kind of blend together for me. So, and Child's Play's fine. Psycho's not a slasher movie for half of it. Sorry. But Chainsaw, all of them are really damn entertaining. Even like 4, I kind of like Next Generation, honestly. The only one that I think is honestly bad out of the franchise is 3D. Like that's
timeline.
The 3D is the only one that I have any real issues with.
Do you think, cuz?
Oh my god!
They turn him into the fucking T-Rex at the end of Jurassic Park.
They do.
It's like, yeah, fucking, you go get him.
Who wrote that? It's like, why would? Come on,
man.
Oh man,
that movie has a great first 5 minutes and then a terrible rest of the film.
Thank you.
Yeah. Like the opening of that film, fantastic. Rest of the movie, garbage.
That timeline is so fucked.
And the timeline is so fucked.
That timeline, it makes my head hurt.
So fucked.
But,
what? Where? Who?
You think Halloween's timeline is fucked?
I know.
Look at Chainsaw.
Did you guys like
Some might
Leatherface?
have it actually beat there.
Mm-hmm.
Chris,
Leatherface.
did you like Leatherface?
I love Leatherface.
Oh, I do.
I love Leatherface. I
did.
thought it was super underrated and got way too much shit. Like, I acknowledge it has issues, but I really enjoy it.
I did too. I thought it was a great film.
It had its moments. I just didn't like the twist that they tried, or the whodunit aspect of it, trying to guess who Leatherface was, because obviously when you're looking at the film, you're obviously thinking it's going to be one of those 4 patients, but it's not him. And then it turns out to be the person that no one really thought would be Leatherface. So I kind of was a little bit insulting of the Leatherface character that we know and love, and we turn out to be.
I agree with that.
That's Leatherface.
But I fucking love Texas.
Yeah, that's a movie where like the mystery of who Leatherface is not remotely interesting to me. Like when I watch, like the stuff I love about that movie is everything aside from the mystery. Like take the mystery out of it, I think that is a fantastic. That's definitely one of those movies where I think if it was removed from the Texas Chainsaw franchise and was its own thing about like a group of mental patients escaped and kind of doing a road like horror film, I think it would be a lot more liked than it ultimately is.
The writer also did Hellfest.
Yeah, he did Hellfest.
And I love that movie as well. I really liked it too.
Yeah, that's I think that's Gray B movie's cousin. I think.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, he wrote that, and he also wrote Help.
I really like the dude's work. I think he's got something there, and Leatherface in particular, I was blown away by. And I know a lot of people had issues, and I can see their issues, but I was blown away by the movie.
It's really good. It's really underappreciated.
Yeah. Well, everyone knows, and I'm a Freddy fan.
Of course.
I know. I enjoyed most of the Nightmare on Elm Street films. 1, 2, 3, 4 was. And I think what happened was, especially after 3 and 4, is where Freddy stopped being scary and became a funny punning guy.
Yeah,
especially when it came to 4. And unfortunately, that's when his downfall started. When after not really, but 4, but then 5 is when he became a cartoon character of himself. And I know
4
how much
4 was the transition movie. Then 5 is when it all this.
4 was the transition movie. Although I still liked 4, but 5 was like, okay, all right, we're starting to run out of stuff for Freddy to do because he's not scary. I told you comic books were bad for you.
I kind of like 5.
I'm super
you like 5, though.
I do. In fact, the boy's name Jacob is kind of inspired by that.
Yeah, she named a kid after Elm Street 5.
Oh man.
I feel bad for him. No.
Don't tell me you like Super Freddy.
I just like
I hate 5, and even I kind of like Super Freddy. Like, it's dumb 5. As hell, but it's probably the best kill in the movie.
I like the Amanda Kruger aspect, and I know we got her in other movies, but I like the Amanda Kruger aspect. I can't front here. I do. I'm not cool.
Yeah.
and of course, everyone who hates on Freddy's dead. But I enjoyed Freddy's dead for what it was trying to do.
I'm with you, Monty. I'm with you.
That was way better than 5. A lot of people give that movie a lot of crap. I love Freddy's Dead. Way better than 5.
Wow, another one, Monty. Another lover.
I'll defend that movie.
So
no problem with it.
And of course, New Nightmare.
Oh yeah, New Nightmare
is awesome.
New Nightmare is New
Nightmare
is another solid without doubt.
Yeah. I mean, Freddy's Dead is way better than the remake.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I would agree. We can agree on that one. Yes.
New Nightmare walked so that Scream could fly. Sorry, Christian.
That's right. That's right.
I would say New Nightmare got horribly eviscerated and got unfairly criticized for years, so Scream could get praise for doing the exact same thing 10 times worse.
Yeah, the meta kind of.
Yeah.
Hey, Internet, Eric.
Yo, Eric.
What's up, Eric?
Hey, Eric.
Hello, Eric.
Even it by myself. Yeah, Eric loves 5.
He loves Super Freddy.
He also loves Halloween 5, by the way. I don't know if you heard that.
Oh, yeah.
I do too.
That's okay.
Halloween 5.
I like Halloween 5.
I'm kidding.
I hate Halloween 5.
He hates it with a fiery passion. I don't know if you've seen his reviews on it.
Yeah, I think he hates Halloween 5 just as much as Brad hates Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Or part 3 of Halloween.
I do want to see a cut of that movie with the footage that they found recently. I just saw it. You shut your mouth, Sean.
Shut your mouth.
Yeah, he can't stand Halloween 5.
Hey Marty, how about you? What's your favorite slasher franchise?
I gotta go with Friday the 13th because it's a series that has gone everywhere and done everything. It's his mother. He's going around with a bag in his head. Oh, he's a zombie. Oh, he's a zombie again. Hey, he's gone to New York. Fuck it, it turns out he's a parasite resurrected by the Necronomicon. He's gone into space. He's fought Freddy Krueger. What has this can we all agree Jason Voorhees is the Forrest Gump of slashers, okay? He's the fucking Forrest Gump of slashers.
He has
like
done
nothing he hasn't done.
Marty,
I never thought of it that way.
Marty, I can actually think of one that I think has done more shit.
Oh God.
If you say Leprechaun, I'm gonna fucking
damn it, you know where my brain works.
He's gonna go with Leprechaun.
I think Leprechaun has done more than Jason, honestly.
My arse. Leprechaun has been to the hood twice, and he's running out of fucking. Jason has gone to the future, gone into space, been a fucking parasite, fought Freddy Krueger. I mean, he is literally the Forrest Gump of fucking slashers. I love Jason Voorhees. He kicks arse. It doesn't matter that his origins make no sense. It doesn't matter. He doesn't look like the same fucker he looked like in the prior film. I like the fact that the Friday the 13th movies, you can always have fun with them, like between the kills, to Crispin Glover's fucking ridiculous fucking dance, the fucking, being frozen in ice. It's just, to being a parasite. I love Trenchy going on a thing about how the fuck he turns into a parasite and impregnates his stepsister. It's like, what hasn't been done in Friday the 13th? Tell me, what have they yet to do? He'll be fighting fucking dinosaurs next, or in a fucking car.
We got to see it. Once this lawsuit is over, I will pitch it if I have to.
No, Marty. You see, you have all that point, but the Leprechaun's gone to Vegas. Jason ain't gone to Vegas. Therefore, your argument is
went to Manhattan. That's good enough. I think the Leprechaun.
Maybe Jason
did more...
needs to go to. This, I don't know.
I'll tell you one thing, Christian. If the Leprechaun came to Ireland, I'd kick his fucking hole.
Maybe that's what Jason needs to do. Go to Ireland.
I think the Leprechaun did more. The Leprechaun did more traveling than Jason did. He went to Vegas. He went to the hood twice. And then he went to space.
But I'll see you guys all that. But did the Leprechaun ever get leprechaun burgers? I think not. I'm with Marty.
Exactly. The Jason burgers.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. You know you made it when they make burgers out of you. You
Okay,
know you
enough,
made it.
Fair enough.
The Forrest Gump comparison is so funny. It's like for no particular reason. For no particular reason at all, I decided to take a little trip to Manhattan.
That's my boat. He takes the boat. When he gets on the boat.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect.
All right.
Mama always said, kill him, Jason. Kill him.
Who is Jason's equivalent of Jenny?
Marty, you want to take this one?
I don't know, maybe fucking, the Freddy Krueger.
Don't say Pamela.
Tommy Jarvis.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense to me. Yeah.
I was gonna say Tina, but Tommy Jarvis has more history with Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, maybe Tina, because like she just fucks off and leaves Jason with some fucking kid he doesn't know anything about. It's like, fuck it, the bitch is dead, and now she's left me with a kid. What am I gonna do?
Oh my god.
Yeah, that one does work.
Hey, Forrest.
Hey, Jason.
Hey, Jason.
What a
I'm like
coincidence.
dying of AIDS and all, and you have no right. You like have, and I know I never told you about your kid who's like 12 or whatever, and like, here's your kid. I'm gonna go die now. Bye, Forrest.
So selfish. Incredibly selfish.
What a bitch.
She is the most evil person in movie history. She is the greatest villain of movie history.
Really? You guys think Darth Vader has nothing on Jenny?
He doesn't.
Nothing.
He does. Holy shit! I just thought, because this analogy makes so much more sense. Because in the book, Forrest Gump went to space.
Really? Did he?
Yeah. In the book Forrest Gump, he becomes an astronaut.
He does.
That is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Eric, I agree with Eric. Damn that Jenny. She didn't love Forrest until he had money.
Yep.
Jesus,
Came around.
Jason loved his mummy, though, at least.
Mm-hmm. True.
So I don't think it's any surprise to anyone on the planet what my favorite is.
Nope.
That's the greatest.
Oh,
that is the greatest. I agree with you, Sean.
Nice.
It's okay. It has 3 in it, so therefore it has some value in the franchise.
Somewhere Brad's getting pissed off and he doesn't know why.
Good, I'm glad.
Yeah.
Good thing.
Brad says tingling. What the fuck is this bullshit?
Oh man, I can hear Brand branding now.
Yeah, I can too.
All right, guys. Top 5 one-shot slashers from the 1980s. Yes.
Very cool.
Very curious on this.
That's a tough one, Sean.
Yeah, that is a tough one.
Oh man.
I had a couple, but one of my favorites I realized actually has a sequel, a shitty direct-to-DVD sequel.
Oh,
Yeah, that was the problem I had.
Yeah.
Is it Portrait of a Serial Killer?
That was one of mine.
I could see that.
Because he said shitty sequel that nobody knew about. I was like, it has to be Portrait of a Serial Killer.
What was the sequel to that?
Henry 2.
It was just
there was a
Henry 2.
There was?
It's awful.
Yeah, it is heinous. It is one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That wasn't mine though.
No.
How about you, Monty? What would be some of your favorites?
Let's see. Don't know. They made a sequel out of that one. I was about to say, I know which one. Happy Birthday to Me. That was
Nice.
the one. That was a good one.
Great choice.
Great choice. Let's see. Terror Train.
Yep.
Yeah.
What was that one? I can't remember that. I can't remember what it was called. Was it New Year's Evil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
New Year's Evil, yeah. That counts.
Mm-hmm.
You're not wrong, Moon.
Yeah, so that's the only ones. Those are the only ones that come into mind when it comes to one-shot slasher film from the 80s.
Bloody Birthday.
Oh, bloody birthday.
Some of them came to mind. Of course, there's The Burning, the Fun House.
You
That's
got one of
another
mine.
good one.
Nice.
You got one of mine.
Now you said slashers or just one shot? I believe you said
One-shot
slashers.
slashers.
Yeah.
From the 80s, yeah.
Okay, Madman. Madman Mars, I
Yes,
believe.
Madman.
Did I say Blood Rage? No.
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 Okay,
Blood Rage
that
counts, yeah.
was like, and of course, My Bloody Valentine. I think that's 4.
Yeah.
And there was another one. I was gonna say Motel Hell, but there was another one I had in mind. Can't remember.
That's a fun one.
It's a fun one.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would consider that a slasher though.
No.
Yeah, it's on the.
What about Pieces?
Pieces is a great one. But it's a 70s
nice.
one, is it?
I thought it came out
Nice.
70s.
No, that's
yeah.
That's 80s.
No, that's,
82,
I think it came out in the
80.
80s.
I
It was
thought
82.
I was like,
I thought it was
okay.
like, okay.
I always thought it was like 79 or something.
I
Okay,
always thought
cool.
it was too.
It just has that feel of a 70s movie though.
Yeah,
It does
because
have
Maniac's
that.
the same way for me. I always think of Maniac as a 70s film.
That's an 80s.
That was the one. Maniac. That was the one I was gonna say. And
Yeah.
because that one was wild. That scene with Tom Savini in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I know.
So I guess instead of Pieces, I would say Maniac instead, because that was actually really good.
Nice. How about you, Marty?
It's a fucking hard one. New York Ripper. The
Nice.
New York Ripper.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
I don't know. There's 2 movies, and one supernatural, one's a slasher. Death Spa.
That's a good one.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Death Spa. I thought that was fun. Oh fuck. Jesus, this is a bastard hard one. Shit. Yeah, I was going to pick The Hitcher, but that has a shitty sequel that came out in the early 2000s.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Why did
can't
they have
do
to
that.
do that?
Why did they have to do that?
It's got Gary Busey. That's something at least.
So cool. It doesn't even have the dignity of that. It's got his son Jake.
Gary
His son,
Busey.
yeah.
Oh, it's Jake Busey?
That's
Okay.
Jake.
We
Yeah.
can afford to get Gary Busey.
That's better when you can't do that.
Fuck. April Fools. I know there's not really a proper body count on it.
Oh,
There you go.
Fuck. This is a hard bastard question. Yeah.
I didn't realize it was going to be this hard.
This was like the hardest one for us and for me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna go with entry. I'm sorry, dude. I can't. I can't think anymore. Again, slashers aren't my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
It's all good, man.
You pick some good ones though.
All right, Jen and Christian, what you got?
Okay, well, like I was also gonna say The Hitcher, but then I was talking to Marty earlier, and he's like, "Jen, it has a sequel," and I was like, "God damn it, I forgot about that stupid sequel." But I think The Hitcher. Does it count if no one remembers? It took like Marty to tell me that.
I
even
think
me.
I mean, it still exists.
But no one remembers it.
It still
Well, what
exists.
you mean
I
it took
know,
like
right?
Marty to tell you that? What's that supposed to mean? I'm a fucking degenerate or something? It took
Can't we
this prick
just
to tell me.
block? Can we just block that one out?
No, but it's just because like you know your stuff, and I'm like, damn it, that's right. I was just mad at you for reminding me there was a sequel because I was like, I'm gonna pull out The Hitcher, and they're all gonna be, wow, Jen's really deep and thing, and then you had to go, no, there's a two, and I was like, you ruined my plan, Marty. You ruined my plan. So,
I didn't fucking mean to.
it's fine. It's fine.
Jesus,
No,
this is our first domestic live and fucking stream and all. Jesus.
But no, and then I also wanted to say Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, but I did remember that one had a sequel. A Funhouse is one that, but Strange Monkey already mentioned that one, but I love Funhouse.
Nice.
Unlike some people sitting next to me.
I don't like Funhouse.
Oh, come
Funhouse
on. You know, like,
great.
Yeah, it's fun.
I think Funhouse is Hooper's worst movie.
what?
Just
Sir,
I know.
cannot
I
believe you.
know.
I didn't raise it right.
I don't like Funhouse, man. I don't like it.
Yeah,
More people need to talk about the Funhouse.
They do. They really do. And then, like I said, Maniac also. But Maniac had the
remake.
reboot, so I didn't know if that one would count. But Maniac, you can't talk slashers without bringing up Maniac because I think that is probably
that
the
counts.
dirtiest.
There's no
slasher.
sequel.
Yeah.
There's no sequel.
Yeah, that
There's
counts.
no sequel,
It's
but there
just
was a
a remake. Yeah, well, it's just a remake. I mean, there's
Doesn't
no
count.
sequel.
Yeah, I guess I didn't know if it would count.
Yeah.
But it's a great movie. And then let's see, I had one more. Find the thing.
Okay, sure.
Let's see. Edge of the Axe, a great Canadian slasher. Edge of the Axe. I love that one. That one's and it's set at a camp. It's very fun. It's just I like that one a lot. And I also thought of Motel Hell, but hearing you guys talk, I guess that doesn't really count as a slasher. But I was getting desperate.
I think it counts. It's a black comedy first, but I think it counts as a slasher as well.
Thanks for sticking up for
Look
me,
at
boy.
Eric.
You're welcome.
Stop, Eric. Stop it, please.
Well, that's one no one wants to remember that.
Yeah, he unfortunately had to watch it.
I feel it's kind of my fault, but you know, it is what it is.
Hey, look! I got to watch Exorcist 2 for
Oh God!
Good,
Oh, you poor
Have
poor
fun,
man.
asshole.
good luck. to
Fortunately,
you,
that does
sir.
exist.
God be with you, Monty.
Have fun with that
I-
one.
I wish you nothing but luck, sir.
Ron Gorman should be fucking shot for that movie.
Oh, Scott brought up a good one. Dress to Kill.
I always think of it more as a giallo, but it is also a slasher movie. Yeah.
I'm gonna throw in Dress to Kill. That's a great movie.
That is a fantastic movie.
Full Moon said shopping mall.
I don't really consider that a slasher.
I don't know if I do either.
Intruder. That's one.
Many
set in the
people
department store.
considered it.
Yeah.
Oh, Intruder, that's a good.
That's
I
a
still
good
need
one.
to see Intruder.
It's a good one.
It's
Uh,
like
fun.
half Sam Raimi's friends in a fucking department store. Can you imagine?
Nice.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've been looking for it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. For mine, of course, The Prowler. It's my favorite slasher movie. I love it.
Nice.
I think I've gone over that one pretty much thoroughly. Terror Train, the best Jamie Lee Curtis slasher
I
movie.
don't like Terror Train.
But you mean you didn't like Prom Night?
No, I don't
Another
like
one
the
I need
original
to
Prom
watch.
Night. I honestly don't like the original Prom Night that much. It has some good bits in it, but yeah, I love Terror Train. I think the killer changing costumes is super cool idea. I actually like our killer a lot. Just the whole vibe it sets up. The train setting's cool and unique. It's pretty different. I know
Yes.
you're so malevolent to Terror Train.
I don't like Terror Train that much.
That's one that I need to check out. I never saw Terror Train.
You never saw Terror Train?
It's very fun.
No.
It's a good slasher film.
It's
No,
okay.
I
It's
prefer.
very
I
tongue in
prefer.
cheek. It's fun.
Yeah,
Jen
I
is
just
not
prefer-
happy about Terror Train.
Yeah.
Just say you don't like it and move on.
It's okay.
It's
you can say-
okay. It's okay.
It's okay. You don't like it. You don't like it.
I will definitely have to check it out.
It's a good movie. April
Eric's
Fool's
death.
Day. I think April Fool's Day is, again, kind of like Marty said, technically, I don't know if that counts considering the twist, but the whole movie feels like a slasher film, so I'm going to count it because I love that whole film's vibe. The kills are great. I like the characters a lot, and I actually really like the ending reveal. I think it's super fun and creative. Of
I
course,
agree, I
Shocker.
agree.
Of course, you got to talk about Shocker.
Shocker.
Shocking.
Shockingly, I got to talk about Shocker because I love the hell out of that movie. I think Pinker's a pretty unique killer. Like it kind of feels like Craven trying to do because he never got to do Jokey Freddy. Really, that was like a studio thing. So it kind of feels like what if he made Krueger a bit more jokingly. Like, yeah, he's comedic but still a threat, as opposed to Krueger, which is pretty much a joke by the end of the franchise. And I just like the whole, I like his electrical powers. I love the ending fight scene of them jumping through the cable channels and stuff. I think all that's super fun. Yeah.
I think he planned to make a franchise, but since
He did.
Shocker
Yeah,
didn't
but
do
it-
that well.
He intended for
Yeah.
Pinker to be the next horror icon, but unfortunately, he didn't catch on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Chris,
it's
was that the
unfortunate.
one with fucking Mulder and Scully's boss is a
Yeah,
death?
Mitch
Yeah.
Mitch
Yeah,
Spaghetti.
it has,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, Mitch
Yeah.
Spaghetti before he became Skinner.
Yeah, it has Skinner in it. So yeah, that one's great. And one that I'm actually pretty new to. I just watched it recently, just randomly on Shudder the other day. Wait Until Dark. I really like Wait Until Dark.
Oh,
It's a pretty standard film, but it's just something about it. I like the whole vibe it sets up. There's nothing particularly unique about it, but I like it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Eric. Monkey Shines is not really considered a slasher.
No.
I wouldn't think
Really?
so.
I
It's a
wouldn't either.
decent horror movie, but no, I don't consider that a slasher.
No, I don't think it is
It
either.
is. Curtains. That's good. Good one.
Yeah.
Correction. I meant Just Before Dawn, not Wait Until Dark. That's an entirely different movie.
I was wondering.
No, I meant
Just
I
Before Dawn.
yeah, I meant Just Before Dawn.
I still can't believe they made a sequel to Portrait of a Serial Killer, man.
You
Don't
know,
watch
they
it.
did.
It's bad. It's like don't waste.
I'm
your
not. I
time.
will never watch it. I will never watch it. That would have been perfect for this category, and they had to go and screw it up and make that.
Yeah.
They did, and because that's such a good movie. Such a good
Yeah.
movie.
Hey guys, listen, it's getting late here in Philadelphia, so I gotta drop off.
Okay.
So I gotta fix my wife breakfast in the morning.
Oh,
No
Aw.
problem.
it was a great stream, Monty.
great,
Good having you.
All right,
great
Hey,
having
thank
you,
for
man.
coming on, dude.
All right.
all right. See you guys
Good
later.
night.
See you next stream.
See you next time. All right. With that being said, we'll give my list. So I'm gonna say Maniac. Absolutely
Yeah.
Of course.
love
Nice.
it. Absolutely love it. Terror Train. Love it. New York Ripper, Marty. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
So good.
Mhm.
Quack quack. Quack quack.
Gary Duff.
And the Prowler. I love the Prowler.
Yeah.
And Eric said he loves the Prowler too.
Probably
So there is some love for the Prowler out there.
Damn it,
And
Eric.
and last one, I didn't hear anyone say Nightmares in a Damaged Brain. It's a really messed up movie. very sleazy along the lines of Maniac, with a seriously deranged killer, and you see it from his perspective at times, just like Maniac.
I
And
think I have that one,
brutal as
Sean,
hell.
on Box of the Band, isn't it? Where like he comes in and his parents while they're having sex and he cuts off
Right, yes,
the
Mhm.
father's
Yeah.
head or the mother's head.
that's
Yeah.
the one. Yeah.
As you do.
Brutal as hell.
Awesome. I love
And,
that movie.
Of course you do.
Yeah, so that's my 5.
Awesome picks. Awesome picks.
All right, next subject. What is the sleaziest, grimiest, grittiest, dirtiest slasher film ever made? There's a lot of them. You know?
I'm trying to think of the movie that I saw, and this is not 80s, right?
No, it
doesn't
could
have
be
to
any time. It could be from this year.
I'm trying to remember this. I don't even think this movie's a slasher. I'm literally trying to look it up now. Blood-sucking freaks. Has anybody ever seen that movie?
That one's a fun time.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think that's a slasher, but my God, that movie. I turned it off after. I was like, all right, I've had enough. All this
Yeah.
torture. It's just. I was like, I can't. I don't know if that's considered a slasher, but we're talking sleazy and just dirty, grimy movies.
yeah.
I'm like, that damn movie comes to mind. I'm like, ugh. That's the only one I can think of, really. I can't with this. It's too much.
You gotta wash your hands.
Yes.
How about you, Marty? What would be one of your picks for the sleaziest, slimiest?
See, the thing is, again, it's not my wheelhouse, but if I had to fucking, Christ, I don't know if it counts. Like, Abel Ferreira's Driller Killer?
Oh, that's a good choice.
Abel Ferrara in general.
Yeah,
I think it counts. Yeah.
I do too.
Which one was that?
Driller
Driller
Killer.
Driller Killer.
Oh, okay. I remember that one.
It's a great choice,
Yeah.
and I think it totally counts.
Totally.
I don't think the victims necessarily, if a slasher, I don't think the victims necessarily have to be female. I don't think you have to fucking genderify the victims for
No,
work.
yeah,
And
no.
like, the fact he's killing fucking homeless people and he's worried about becoming homeless himself. And just their scenes with like just fucking dudes thrown up or fucking real homeless people vomiting and
Yeah.
falling asleep in puke and blood and stuff. It's like, yeah, it's just, it sticks with you.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Jen and Christian, I'm curious.
It's going to be a cliche, but I'm a cliche person, so I'm going to have to say Maniac because you feel dirty watching that film. Like every time I watch it, I feel like I need a shower.
Mhm.
And he's so grimy and so greasy, and yet
Yeah.
he's also kind of heartbreaking. He's so pathetic in a way that you feel sorry for him, but you're also horrified by him. And the kills
Yeah.
and Tom Savini blowing off his own head. It's a classic. That's one of my favorite movies, and there's a reason for it. So
Yeah.
when I hear slasher, Maniac.
Yeah. Like, I would say that's honestly probably like the obvious answer, and I think
I
for
know.
the reason of it's probably the right answer. But for the sake of difference, I'll say New York Ripper. Just a very dirty, sleazy
Yeah.
movie. Got a quacking serial killer running amok.
Fuck a duck,
which,
you could say.
Which is just incredibly dirty, I guess. No, I'd probably say New York Ripper. It's very, very dirty feeling.
And we do not sympathize with him at
No,
all.
we do not. We do not.
That's mine too. That's my
Hell
pick.
yeah.
New York
Awesome.
Ripper.
Awesome.
I mean, they're watching a live sex show in one of the like scenes.
Hell yeah.
Right.
Woohoo for
The
The
life
girl
experience.
gets it. Girl gets it in a certain place in one of the scenes.
Yeah.
Doesn't some
Ah.
chick go to a calf to get felt up under the table by some just two random.
Yes,
fucking
yes, yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
And the razor scene, of course. That's
Of
Yeah.
course, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of
so
great bits in
damn
that
brutal. That
Yeah.
is
I
so
love that.
absolutely brutal.
Oh, Moon brings up a good point. Brings up a good point. Cannibal exploitation films, like
Ferox,
like Ferox and Holocaust. I guess they're not
Yeah,
technically.
but would you
slashers,
say that's a slasher? Because that's almost its
no
own
sensibilities.
genre.
They have the slasher sensibilities. Like they.
I wouldn't say they're slasher movies, but they are very
Yeah.
dirty feeling.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
can kind of get where they're coming from, but good points to bring up. And I just love those damn movies.
Yeah, you just wanted to mention, hey, Cannibal Holocaust is a movie.
I love Cannibal Holocaust.
This is actually I have another suggestion. It's newer. I don't know if it falls into the proximity, but it is fucked up. Have any of you guys seen? Jen's seen it. I know Jen's seen it. The Poughkeepsie tapes.
I love the Poughkeepsie
No.
tapes, but would that be considered a slasher, Marty? Like, I love that
The,
movie.
the dude is systematically hunting and killing people. He does a reverse cesarean on a woman with her boyfriend's head.
Yeah,
I mean, that's like
Yeah,
you don't forget that shit
Yeah.
fucking easily, like
yeah, you're right. And then the scene where he just takes the little girl and bashes her head in and says, "I'm a happy, pretty little girl,"
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that scene.
It's a hard fucking watch. Like
It's one of my favorite movies, Marty.
That's why I love you. You're crazy.
She is.
That's a
That's
great
actually the
choice
movie
by
I go-
Full Moon there.
Mhm.
The Two Box Murders.
That's
Two
a good
Box
one, too,
Murders.
yeah.
That's actually my comfort movie. Like when I'm feeling, and you can attest
Oh, yeah,
to that.
Poughkeepsie tapes.
That's your comfort movie.
That's my comfort movie. Like when I'm feeling down, I go turn on
Then
the Poughkeepsie tapes.
something tells me we're gonna have a real fucking interesting date night one of these nights. Yes, I just
Yeah.
Now, you promised I could pick some of the movies too. It was a 50-50 thing, Marty.
okay, yeah, we're cool. Yeah.
Have fun. Have fun with what you're getting into, my friend.
Oh, Jen.
Oh, Jen.
You guys would let me pick movies, right? You know, you guys would let you know, you wouldn't feel sorry for Marty, right? You'd let me pick movies because I'd pick like Disney movies.
My arse, would you pick a Disney movie?
No, I wouldn't.
Oh, one more I'll mention is pretty damn sleazy is Don't Open Till Christmas. I saw
that
it.
one is.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the one dude gets his fucking shaft cut off in the toilet. While he's
Oh
taking
God,
a
I have never heard of that
Oh
one.
man.
Great Christmas
And one of
movie.
the scenes he's in there with the girl at the the peep show booth or whatever.
lead.
It's called Don't Open
Sean,
Till Christmas.
Isn't
Yeah.
Carolyn Monroe
It's
doing a fucking
it's not a
dance
good
number?
movie by any means,
No, I figured.
What were you saying, Marty?
but it does have Carolyn Monroe.
Yeah, she's doing a song number and a fucking corpse just comes out of a trap door in the floor and it's like, right. It's a fun movie, but Jesus Christ, it's nasty as fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
Another movie Jen really likes.
Adding it to the list.
Oh God. Is that a comfort movie?
Yeah, is that a comfort?
Around
movie?
Christmas, yes.
Around Christmas.
It's one in the rotation in Christmas movies. I have a couple, and that's one of them in the rotation.
Nice. Peace out, Eric.
See, Eric.
Hi, Eric.
see you, dude.
All right, guys. Favorite foreign slasher.
Oh.
I know mine.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Okay. Okay, so mine, this was a coin toss for me for saying this is the dirtiest one as well. So there's one that I really want to see, but I still haven't seen yet, called Dream Home from China. So that's but a little bit I've seen of it. It seems excellent. So that's like an honorable mention. But my pick is an Australian classic, Cat Sick Blues.
Review coming this week.
Yeah, review coming in a couple days.
Interesting.
Okay, so Cat Sick.
Oh, God.
Okay, Sean. So let me pitch you Cat
Oh my
Sick
God.
Blues. Okay, so it's about a guy. He's feeling really down because his cat died.
Beloved cat.
His beloved cat died. So what does he go around and do? He decides he's gonna go around and kill 9 women and collect their blood in a bucket, and so he can resurrect his cat while he's dressed up in a cat mask, cat claws, and he has a custom made.
Oh, you haven't even got to the fucked up part yet.
He has a custom made bladed dildo.
That's about as big as my arm.
That looks like a cat penis that he kills people with.
Nice.
Like there's,
Wow.
Nice.
It is not a movie for everyone. I liked it.
It's funny. It's funny.
Yeah, it's also a comedy, like a black comedy.
I was actually with you there until you said that part. Like,
Marty
That's
found an
wild.
action figure.
Really?
right?
Yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah, it's a movie. It exists. It's out there.
I might have to check that out.
What's it called again?
Cat Sick Blues.
2015.
Yep.
That would be a great date night movie.
Wow.
Okay, grand.
Date night.
Yeah, look. Consider the other shit you've suggested. Fuck it. That seems.
Yeah,
That
in
seems
fairness,
mundane and
out of the
fucking
other stuff.
dark.
We need to have a live commentary on that or something. Watch along.
Oh, we've got one for you coming up, Sean. I'm not going to spoil what it is, but I've talked Marty into
There's
doing
something
it.
coming up in the pipeline, my friend.
I picked it.
Nice.
Oh hell! But, yeah,
I'm
so
gonna be drunk as fuck for that fucking watch along
Yeah.
and review.
Yep,
I don't even drink, and I might be drinking.
You probably will be, Sean.
yep. You probably will.
Probably everybody.
Or be very horrified that we are technically coworkers. So that'll be fun.
Yeah,
But
that'll
yeah.
be
So,
fun.
what's your favorite foreign slasher?
It's my favorite movie in general. I know I've said this a million times, but high tension. I fucking love that
High Tension.
movie. It's one of my favorites. And you open up the movie with a guy getting head from a decapitated head. I mean, you just can't go wrong. And it's also what I really like about it in the slasher element, the scene where she's hiding.
Yeah,
you know,
that she's hiding
in the house. That is such a tension-filled scene, and I don't get creeped out. But when I was watching that movie, and I wasn't creeped out, but I was nervous for the character. I remember
You were
holding on to.
invested.
Yeah, I was, and that happens so rarely. I know the ending is a little problematic, but I still really love that film. So don't care. It's too good.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to hear what Marty's is, since he's not from America.
Yeah.
Yeah, so since I'm from Ireland, I'm gonna say Friday the 13th.
Ah.
No.
Ah.
See what you
Okay.
did there. I see what you did there.
No.
Very
Okay,
nice.
I will be. I'll say my favorite non-Western movie. I'm going to actually go with, and it's kind of a reverse in a slasher. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it. Called I Saw the Devil.
Oh, I love that movie.
it-
Love that
yeah.
movie.
So what if a government operative, his wife is killed by a serial killer, and he decides to tag and stalk said serial killer and fuck with him, absolutely make this serial killer's life an absolute living fucking hell. What would be that what would that be like? And it's brilliant. You have essentially the South Korean version of James Bond versus a sadistic serial killer and rapist. It is fucking mental. If you haven't seen I Saw the Devil, you have to check it out.
It
Yeah.
is. That is a movie I heard
Sounds good.
people talking about it forever, and I saw it on list after list after list. And when we finally saw it, we were blown away. Usually the hype, it lets you down, but this is one movie I can say the hype is understated. And
Yeah,
there's a
the
lot of
movie-
hype with this movie,
yeah.
but the hype is understated.
One of the best movies of the last 20 years.
It has everything but the
And-
kitchen sink, and it's funny. Like there's some really dark humor in it. Or is that just me?
There's a brilliant bit where the serial killer is picked up by these two carjackers, and they try to murder him, and he butchers the shit out of him. He's like, he's talking to himself. He's like, the amount of fucking psychos that are around these days, it's disgraceful. He's after butchering these two fucking dudes who tried murdering him. It's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I Saw the Devil.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
How about you, Strange Monkey?
Jen beat me to it. I gotta say High Tension
Oh, sorry.
as well. No, it's all good. I was trying to figure out if Suspiria was a slash.
Sensibilities.
Supernatural.
I guess it could be.
So
considered.
yeah, but yeah, High Tension was a very good movie. I mean, yeah, there are some parts that it had its problems, but like the title says, High Tension. The scene at the gas station.
Oh yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, because like like the killer is just he's right there and he's just looking around. Right when he's about to leave, he's like, "Wait a minute, something's not right here."
Mm-hmm.
And there were moments where he just could have caught her easily, and he didn't because she was a lot more smarter. But then you see what happens at the end there. It's like, oh, okay. Oh, this makes sense. I'm not gonna say what it is. People watching and whatnot, but it was quite a twist, quite an ending. I'll say that. Things make sense at the end, well, kind of, sort of, but not bad overall. It was an entertaining movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I love that movie.
I'm going to go New York Ripper once again. Yeah,
that's a pretty popular one on the stream tonight.
Yeah,
it's just like it's just like Fulci just letting loose and saying, "Screw it! I'm just gonna do the most sleaziest, nastiest, brutalest, goriest slasher, and I don't give a damn." And like all his creativity from his past just kind of goes out the window. Even though as nasty as sleazy as it is, it does still have some of like the giallo elements from the past, It's got
giallo
that
and slasher are very
like
they share a lot of sensibilities.
Yeah, they can coincide a lot of elements. So.
Yeah,
you could consider it as a giallo too.
They influenced the likes of Brian De Palma and stuff like that. When I was at Dress to Kill. Yeah, De Palma did Dress to Kill, right, Jen?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Dress to Kill is very giallo-esque.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I almost say it is American.
I kind of do.
I do.
I kind of do.
I do. It's not exact as we said in the review. It's not the best representation,
but it's a great movie.
It's a great movie.
It's a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
Especially for the time.
All right, guys. What slasher film has the most creative kills?
Oh dear.
Christ.
Baby blood.
I'm gonna go with Sleepaway Camp 2 and the shitter scene. Because I love that scene.
How did she get in there?
She was stuffed her down with a stick, and if you're real, you got a lot of adrenaline pumping. I've heard. It's not that I know this or anything, but you got a lot of adrenaline pumping, and you just get it.
Jen, I'm not using the toilet at your house, okay? Just as a fucking. So I'm not using the jacks at your place.
You're a shitty camper.
And you're a shitty person.
And you should have been the first to. You should have been the first to go. Yeah, like
I love that. I should have been the first to go.
I love, and then she's
so awesome. I love
covered
her.
in shit and leeches. It's just awesome.
It's so gross too.
It is.
She got leeches on her face.
As you do.
I just thought it was so ridiculous. Like, you forced her to get into this toilet. Like,
I love it. It's ridiculous. So it's not in like reality, maybe. Although, if you really hated someone, you could do it.
Probably,
I've heard.
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
I've heard. Like, I would never do that myself, but I've heard.
I get that.
I gotta say, we'll have to see where She beheads the dude, and he's in the TV. Look who's on TV! Finally made it.
That was great. I was angry, but it was a great kill. I was like, ah.
Yeah.
How about you, Trash Picture Show?
Probably not the most creative, but one I actually would. Looking at it, it's like painful. So yeah, I think it's part 5 because I'm like Christian. They all blend into each other. Friday the 13th Part 5, where spoilers for a fucking 30 plus movie, 30-year plus movie, where Roy Burns, his killer, puts the fucking belt over the guy's eyes. Just fucking
Yeah, that's a cool one. I like that.
I was like, oh, you fucking bastard, my fucking eyes, you prick. Just look at it, I was like, ah, fuck. That's, yeah, that always gets me. I don't know why.
I can get that.
It's
It's a good
It's actually
scene.
a really good one, yeah. I always forget about that one.
See, if I was going with Friday the 13th, I would go, well,
Sleeping bag.
no, well, if that's the way you feel, just forget it. Just forget it. Boom!
Yeah,
I don't know, I like that one.
that one's good.
It all started over a chocolate bar. Remember that.
And
I have some issues I'm going to be bringing up on my fucking Friday the 13th stream about Roy Burns. I was like, how, like, that the
there's some
fucking
issues.
stars aligned for that shit to happen. Fucking hell.
I need to watch it. I don't think I'm subscribed to you. I need to see this in the future.
it's a great channel.
It's a good channel.
It's a great channel.
Absolutely.
I will definitely be subscribing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Strange Monkey.
No problem.
And don't hold it against he has a
Subscribe
crazy
to
girl
all
on
these
his
great
streams.
people. Everybody subscribe to all these great people.
Exactly.
Yes.
What about you?
How about you, Christian? How about you, Christian?
Okay, I'm gonna give 2 for the just overall the movie that I think has the most creative kills. Elm Street 3. I think just as a whole, all the kills in that are pretty creative and imaginative. But for my favorite one, and for the most creative one out of the series, I probably would say the bed scene from the first Elm Street. I would probably say that one as a whole. It's so gorgeously done. I love how it all looks. Yeah, I'd probably go with that one.
And it's so simplistic how it was done.
Yeah, I love
And
the
that's-
latex wall and just all that. I love it's so simple.
Yeah.
And then the remake screwed it up with the CG and made it look so much worse.
Oh,
Don't bring up the remake. When has CG ever been better than practical?
never.
Yeah.
Especially in horror.
Yeah.
Okay,
Definitely in horror, that's true.
bad CGI sharks. That had pretty good CG.
And then the weed scene from
Oh yeah, your return to Sleepaway Camp Kill.
yeah,
where you're
CGI fire.
Yeah, that one's bad. Okay, you might have a point.
I will give you, even though I like the movie, Quiet Place 2 had a rough scene there with the monster, and you see the CGI blood coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some issues there with that one.
We didn't like it that much, Sean.
We're sorry.
I know.
Good video on it though. I got a lot of your points.
Yeah, you did a great
I can
video.
see where you're coming from on it.
How about you, Strange Monkey?
I'm gonna go with The Collector.
Great choice.
Ooh.
Nice.
The scene where the boyfriend and girlfriend are fooling around and they notice the collector and they start panicking, and it's more of 2 kills where the boyfriend gets cut, falls onto the bear traps, and then shuts it, like it just closes up right on his face. And then the girl sees I think she saw her boyfriend killed. She goes to grab for his scissors because she thought it was the mentor. She goes flying because the scissors was, it was a rope or something. It was part of a trap, and there was I think there were spikes behind the projector screen. She goes flying and boom, right into her face. I thought that was pretty creative. The whole house was just one nice
Booby
little
traps,
booby traps just all over the place. Yeah, Collector, definitely.
Isn't there theories about that? That's just Kevin McAllister grown up. I've heard those theories.
I've heard that. Yeah. Interesting.
All we haven't seen is Wow's mask. It could be, right?
Yeah.
Kevin McAllister became an exterminator.
That's why he never came back for the other Home Alone movies.
I had always heard he changed his name to John Kramer. Just like
I've heard that too.
Yeah, I've heard that one myself.
Well, I'm gonna go with the original Elm Street. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nice.
Very
just
great
brilliant.
kills.
I just every time I watch that movie, I love it more. You know.
Yeah.
Any specific kills?
Oh, it's gotta be Tina. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Brilliant the way they filmed that.
Oh, what a feeling when she's dancing on the ceiling. Or fucking Johnny Depp's Moody.
Glenn's kill is awesome too.
Yeah, Glenn's good too.
Yeah. Someone needs to recut that with that song. It was a scene.
I'm sure somebody's done that.
Probably.
Yeah.
Nice. There you go.
Nice.
There you go.
I couldn't help myself. I had to. I made this myself. Every time someone brings up a Nightmare on Elm Street, I'm like, oh, I gotta show off the glove.
Did you make that yourself, really?
Yeah. I looked up
cool.
There was a tutorial online on YouTube on how to do it. I just got all the materials and just put it all together.
Awesome.
Nice.
Very cool.
Because these gloves are super expensive online. It's like $89 for a glove. Like nothing.
Yeah.
I know, to get one of those replicas, yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Going back actually, Sean, to what you were saying about Freddy and stuff, just like after 4 and 5, like, do you remember when for Halloween, you could get the kids version, the plastic Freddy gloves for kids, and the jumper and stuff, and like the fucking Mego even put out a Freddy doll. It was like you knew then that it was like, okay, yeah, he's not a scary slasher anymore.
Yeah.
When the pop culture icon.
When
It's
you
a pop
have a
culture
rap
icon
album,
now, yeah.
when he has his own rap album, I think that's more like
Freddy.
He has his own rap album?
He does.
He does. Freddy's greatest hits.
There was a bunch
What?
of children's books
I
as
know.
well.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about
I know he did
Nightmare on My Street, the Will Smith song.
No. He did a song. I remember there was for Nightmare 5. He was rapping on a song, but I didn't know about an album.
Yeah. Freddy's greatest
Wow.
hits. It's him and the Fat Boys. If you're familiar with the rap group,
I
the Fat
know
Boys. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know he did a song with the Fat Boys, but I wasn't sure if it was an entire album.
Yeah, they
they-
did an entire album of it called Freddy's Greatest Hits. I think they might
That's
have thrown
amazing.
Dream Warriors by Dokken on there, but most of it's a rap album.
I think I need to hear it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, Joe Pesci did one for Goodfellas.
Yeah, he did do a rap album.
Well, it wasn't for Goodfellas, but he did. It
He
was
did a rap
basically,
album,
yeah.
Yeah, it was basically a gangster kind of fucking mob.
You've not
I
lived
can
till you've
see
seen
that.
that video.
Oh my
mean-
god.
I mean, there's a Reanimator rap
True.
at this point, so.
There's a whole musical on Reanimate.
Mhm.
I've seen like they have the Crypt Keeper has like a Christmas album, and
He
Elvira
does.
has she has a whole album herself. She's
Oh,
rapping.
yeah.
Mhm.
Very cool.
Yeah, no.
All right, guys. Next one is: do you prefer the whodunit mystery slasher, or do you prefer knowing the killer from the get-go, from the beginning?
It's kind of a case by case basis. It depends on how the film handles it. Like, I've seen it done really well before for different films, and I've seen it done really poorly for other films. It just kind of depends on how the film does it.
Yeah, I really don't care. Like, as long as it's a good movie, like sometimes you can say knowing the killer throughout the movie, but if there's a good enough kills and a good enough story, then it doesn't matter. It depends on what the movie's trying to go for.
Yeah.
But it can be both scenarios can work, and both can be equally as enjoyable.
Yeah.
So long as they do it right, like so long as they don't do a Friday 5 where it's like they pull the fucking twist. Hey, it's fucking Roy Burns, the motherfucker who appeared in a total of 5 scenes.
Not Roy
guy.
Burns.
The guy had 2 freaking lines in the
Two
movie.
Yeah. And it just happened. His son was at that fucking day. And it also just happened. He was a massive fan of fucking Jason Voorhees. And it also happened he had a perfect prosthetic of Jason Voorhees' fucking head. Oh Christ,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a phone.
He just happened to have a friend.
Happenstance is not a fucking twist. Happenstance is not a fucking twist, okay? Sorry.
Well, if that's
so
the way
funny.
you feel, Marty, just forget it.
Just forget it.
Just for you're out of line, Marty. You're really out of line.
I have
And here's
I have to
something else.
say it's hilarious kind of though when you watch it back and look at that one little look he gives straight to the camera.
Yeah.
Like
What the
Hi.
He's
fuck
like,
is that?
yeah.
You should remember my face for the end of the
Here-
movie.
Here's another thing. Why didn't he just go after the kid that killed his son?
Yeah.
He goes
Yeah.
after all these people.
Like,
boy.
Yeah, I
But-
know.
my thing is, was he planning on doing
It wouldn't
this
be a
all along?
movie, would it?
True. What did you say,
Was
Marty?
Was he planning on doing this shit all along? And that was just the fucking mild tipping point? Would he have gone fucking ape shit if his son hadn't been killed? Like, there was a lot of preparation in this.
Yeah, there was a
Between the
lot of
fucking-
fun.
Between the
He's, like,
fucking
done with his-
prosthetic on his head and fucking road flares and fucking knives and axes and all fucking lot. Like, I don't know.
It's like
This
when
one
my
bothers
shift
you.
ends, I'm gonna go. It's like when my shift is over, I'm gonna go buy a prosthetic head and get a
Yeah.
mask. I've got it all sorted out.
Like, yeah, it's just
Right,
It's
makes
just-
no
and-
sense.
that was some serious fucking prosthesis as well. It was like it was made to fit him perfectly. It's like
I know.
I don't know. Did he enter a competition in Fangora to fucking get it? Fuck, like, you know?
He probably did.
He got his mannerisms down pretty well.
Yeah.
Why didn't he kill the kid that killed his kid?
That's
Exactly.
Fucking Roy
Going
Burns.
after all these people. I'm like, dude, why don't you just kill the fucking kid? That's just like, why do you have to go after these people? Makes no sense.
So
that's
fucking
another-
Shaggy and Scooby taking his hockey mask. Roy Burns.
Yeah.
It's like I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you crazy kids.
What the fuck? Who the fuck is this guy, Shaggy? Or get the
I
fucking
don't
line.
know. I don't know.
Right.
This guy's weird.
But there
I
are
don't-
some
I don't
fan
even-
theories that say that like it was Jason the whole time and that he
Oh
was
my god,
around.
it was the possessed thing from the goddamn the worm thing. Oh my god. Oh my god.
There are some fan theories. I'm not saying I subscribe to these theories,
I
but
bet,
I'm
I'm not
just saying they're out
surprised.
there.
That's such a
I-
bizarre.
Roy Burns was innocent.
I-
Like his hardcore Friday heads on him.
Sean, what was the question again? I forgot. What was the question? We got
Sorry.
way off.
That's my
Do you
fault.
Go ahead.
Do you prefer the whodunit mystery slasher or the slasher where we know the killer from the beginning?
With this fucking Roy Burns ruined everything.
Fuck you, Roy.
I guess we got a little bit sidetracked.
It
Fuck
all
you, Roy.
depends. Like, it all depends. You know, if it's done right, like Marty said. I would say like a whodunit type of Scream. That was one that was done right. The mystery.
I don't
like,
think
who
it
did
was
what.
though.
So many. That Rotten Tomato score says otherwise. I'm sorry.
Tomato scores say a lot of things I don't agree with.
But knowing the killer from the beginning is also a good thing too, because like now you know, like it depends. Like you said, it all depends. You know that person is dangerous, and you know his intentions are pretty clear and whatnot. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a little of both for me. I like both.
Yeah.
I say Roy Burns was innocent.
Oh, come on.
He was possessed by Jason. Oh my god.
That makes more fucking sense.
It kind of does.
I know that it makes more sense.
That's an interesting
But
thing.
that's why Tommy should have been the.
Yeah, this is why Tommy should have just been the killer.
Fucking fat Scott Bakula. Yeah, he's the fucking killer.
That's back.
It would,
He looks like a fat Scott Bakula, the guy who played Roy Burns. Look at him. Check him out the next time. He looks like Scott Bakula if he had one too many fucking cheeseburgers.
kind of makes you think, was Roy seeing the same visions like Tommy of Jason just standing outside? It's like, yes, Jason, I will do your bidding.
Mhm.
See, it makes
Again,
sense.
would
all
have
of
made
this
more
would have been-
sense. Yeah.
See, all of this would have been fine if the movie just stated it.
Maybe fucking Scott Bakula quantum leaped into Jason's body and Jason fucking quantum leaped into fucking Scott Bakula's body. I don't know.
I would
Could be.
say
Could be.
justice for Violet. She didn't deserve it.
Oh
No,
no.
she
Just
So how was killing all these people the next sleep home? How did that get in the next sleep home?
Well, maybe. Iggy says you have to slaughter everyone in this camp in 24 hours.
Holy shit.
But that one girl had a cool dance though, the rope pulling.
Yeah,
Sexy.
Very sexy.
Oh yes. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna say I'll agree with all of you guys. I've seen it done great both ways. It depends on how they portray the story. My favorite one ever is Halloween, and we know the killer right from the beginning. But then you have the great mystery ones, like say a Deep Red, which I think was done very well.
Mhm.
The mystery killer, and Friday 13th, the original, is a whodunit. We don't know who it is still yet. I thought that was done really well. So yeah, seeing it from both angles have been done very well, and they've been done very badly.
yeah.
Unfortunately.
Case in point, Friday 5. Next one, I'm really curious to hear what you guys answer. What do you consider to be the first ever slasher movie? There's so many different things you could pick,
There are.
The first,
It's very
okay,
hard. It's
the
difficult.
first movie to like have a lot of slasher elements, or the first full-blown slasher movie?
I'd say the first full-blown.
Okay,
slasher.
for the first Friday the 13th. Then I think that is the first quintessential first slasher movie. I think that in every other film after it was heavily influenced by it, even more than like Halloween or Black Christmas or Chainsaw.
Interesting.
Peeping Tom. I'm going to say Peeping Tom. I think that was like the first one to. Probably there might be others if you look hard, but that's the one that comes to my mind is Peeping Tom.
I can see that. There's a lot. It takes a lot of movies took from Peeping Tom afterwards, but
It did.
yeah,
And it ruined a director's career.
which is always a good thing.
No, but the best directors look at Freaks.
True.
But of course he did Dracula too, but
Well, that was before though.
yeah. But the Freaks kind of ruined
Yeah.
it for him too, so yeah.
Yeah.
Halloween for sure.
Yeah,
I'll
I
A
get
lot
that
of
one.
suspense. Got Michael walking around with that butcher knife. It was just shot so well, but I can see why Friday the 13th would be another good choice, because that they just said it flat out. We ripped off Halloween,
Mhm.
and they just took it to another level.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I always find it funny that they say that he said that.
Yeah.
He actually came out and said, "We ripped off Halloween."
He didn't care.
No.
Money.
The thing is, I think Friday 13th has enough of its own story to
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
to make it its own thing. It doesn't necessarily a straight up knockoff, I don't think.
No, absolutely. Like
That's just me.
And that's the thing. It never really seemed like a knockoff. I never really compared those two. And when they said that we're just gonna knock off Halloween, I was like, really? Like, oh, okay.
I mean, yeah, it's a kind of a holiday themed slasher or whatever.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, there is that opening kind of POV shot, which is similar to
Mhm.
Halloween. But other than that,
Yeah.
I think it's its own thing. You know?
I mean, because like, see, a question like that, because there's so many movies, and you have to break it down. Like everybody says, Peeping Tom, Psycho, and then there's Black Christmas. But like Halloween and Friday the 13th, those are the two that are considered to be like the start of it all.
Yeah.
Because you have Texas Chainsaw sort of opening up the doors, and then from Halloween and on, like that's when you had all the slashers coming in. That's when that subgenre came in.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Marty?
So it's a toss-up between Peeping Tom and Psycho.
Mm.
I'm gonna go with Psycho. I know Christian will disagree, but the fact remains, we don't know how many other victims fucking Norman Bates has. We don't know how many times he's done this. He obviously has a peeping hole in the room for a particular fucking reason.
Yeah.
He's obviously kept his mother's corpse up in the fucking in the loft for a long period of time, judging by the decomposition. So there's no fucking bearing on how bad his psyche was messed up. Therefore, there's no bearing on how many other female guests at the motel he's dispatched. So I'm gonna say Psycho because, like, granted, there isn't a big body count. There's Marion Crane at the start, and there's the fucking private detective, and then that's it. But like, it's that's not to say he hasn't done this before.
That's true. That's entirely true.
And they explain that because you're getting a backstory.
It's not because
that's what Psycho 4 tried to do.
Right.
Yeah. For me, it's not because of the low body count in the film. It's just something about the first two Psycho movies. They just don't feel like slasher movies. Like even like a proto-slasher, like Peeping Tom feels like a slasher movie. I don't feel it with the first two Psycho films, and I can't exactly pinpoint what. But
I can kind of see where you're coming from as well with that, Christian. But I do think there is the germ of the slasher genre.
Yeah, there definitely is. There definitely is. It's kind of like you were saying with Chainsaw. It's definitely something that influenced, and that there are elements of it, but it's way more psychological than yeah, for me at least.
I feel like Psycho 2 seems more like a thriller, but they try to sort of force that slasher element. Like they try to add more blood and all that, and then that scene in the basement where what's her name? Not Marion. Lila.
Vera Miles.
Lila.
Vera Miles, with that fucking knife down the throat.
Yeah.
Literally, and I can see why people would try to consider it a slasher, but you'd have to really take a few things in that movie into consideration. But 3 is more of a slasher for sure.
3 and 4 are definitely slashers.
3 was directed by Perkins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see how people might say it's not a slasher because it still has those elements of the Hitchcock thriller in there and the suspense of classic Alfred Hitchcock in there.
Yeah,
I still say it counts.
I can see that.
But I think it counts because my pick is Psycho.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Awesome.
I had a feeling it was it's either Halloween or Psycho.
No, to me, none of them there are no movies that are more influential to the genre than Psycho to me.
Yeah.
I'd agree with that, honestly, yeah.
It's a masterpiece for sure.
And not only that, but it influenced the Giallos
Yeah.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, it influenced the Giallos.
Definitely.
It all like comes down. It all stems from Psycho, I think, you know.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah, it's probably one of, if not the most influential horror movies just in general, to the entire genre of horror.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
It's a good one. It's a pretty good movie.
It's a good one.
And
Spoilers.
It's a quiet place. It's a quiet place. See what I did there?
I
see what you did there.
That's clever.
The anthrax will be in the mail.
Oh no.
All right, so one last one I got for you. I snuck in a little bonus one.
Oh boy.
I know we covered a lot of ground here, but who is the best slasher killer on screen, on film?
Michael Myers.
Yes.
No, there's no comparison.
Michael freaking Myers. All right, you guys go.
Connell Cochran? No, Roy Burns. Roy Burns is the best slasher ever.
God.
You're off the next stream tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm just disappear for the rest of I'm gonna say Pinhead, honestly.
Nice
Not a
choice.
bad one.
The
There's only
charisma
two good movies,
Doug Bradley brings to the role, even in the lesser films, the amount of charisma and just character he brings to the role. He has some great memorable kills. The characters, the appearance is so iconic and stunning. It's one of the most memorable like designs for a character ever. Yeah, I'm gonna say Pinhead.
Especially when they go to Tijuana.
Tijuana. And when he gains weight for that one movie.
Yeah.
That voice. Oh man.
Yeah, the voice alone. Yeah.
We have such sights to show you.
It is a great one.
I love it.
This
Time to play.
This house is not a house of God anymore.
I can't pick just one. Like I think because I love them all, like for different reasons too. Like I'm gonna just go all of them.
How original.
I know the gins, but I'm just saying, like I really can't because I'm sitting here thinking because I do love Halloween, but I also love Friday the 13th. I love Michael Myers. For all different reasons. I could even go for the Driller Killer in Part 2 and Slumber Party Massacre.
2.
Yeah, I mean slashers are so much fun, but I can't. I'm not gonna pick any.
What about Angela?
Angela too, but I think you need a little bit more charisma.
Okay.
Like I like a little more. Like she's great, but she's more sympathetic.
Okay.
Of course, so is Norman Bates.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pick one. I love them all for different reasons. I'm gonna play my mom card. I love them all.
That's fair.
I don't have a favorite.
Mom card.
Everyone secretly has a favorite, though.
I know.
I know.
I have 2 kids. The bulldog's the only one in the will, though.
Oh my God.
Sean just watched the chat there.
What the hell is this?
Shit.
The hell did that come from? Anyway, Marty, what's your pick?
I'm going to go with Jason Voorhees. Because,
A good choice.
Classic.
He's
again,
probably the most
like,
iconic.
you can do anything with Jason at this stage. He is, as I said, he's the Forrest Gump of fucking slasher. He's like, fucking, put him against Carrie. Put him against Freddy. Fucking, put him on the moon. Fucking, put him on space. Put him... like fucking, I could see the fucker fighting George Washington at this stage.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Or Abraham
be
Lincoln in the
amazing.
Vampires.
Yeah.
How about Bruce Lee back from the dead?
Yes.
Oh.
Jesus, that'd be Godzilla.
Zombie
I'd have
Bruce
seen
Lee
fighting
versus
Godzilla. Just
That
fucking
would be-
climbing down Godzilla's throat, cutting his
Yeah.
organs.
God, that would be a battle. for the ages.
That would be pretty awesome, actually. All right, guys. I think that about covers it. I think we covered quite a bit.
We did.
Yeah. We delved deep into the heart of the slasher film, for sure.
This was a lot of fun.
This was.
Yeah, it really was. I really enjoyed it. That was a great time. Thank you, guys.
No problem.
Thank you for having us, Sean.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Sean.
Yeah, and next time we might be doing the sci-fi horror there with Mr. Trash Picture Show.
Nice.
Love to dig deep into that too.
At least I'll know what the fuck I'm talking about for this. For that one. I was kind of feeling around in the dark for this one. Again, like I like slasher movies, but they're not my wheelhouse. So apologies, I was trying to keep up with you guys.
I'm kind of in the same boat, honestly.
I think you did great.
Did quite well.
Yeah, I think you did great.
All you guys.
I like to think I know what I'm talking about, and I still think Marty out-talked me.
Strange Monkey, it was a pleasure to meet you, and I've heard nothing but good things as well from Lisa.
Likewise. Yeah.
She's strange, yeah.
Known her for quite some time. It was nice meeting you as well.
Absolutely.
Lisa loves you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great guest, Mr. Strange Monkey. Thank you for joining
you did great
us today.
Thank you. This was a lot of fun. It was hilarious listening to Jen and Christian just go off on all these movies.
This is what we do. We are
As
agents
always.
of chaos, and we bring it upon everyone.
Sean hasn't fired us yet, which we don't know why, but he hasn't.
We expect it every time.
Never, never.
Yeah, thank you so much again, Sean. I appreciate you having me on.
All right, guys, everybody, thank you for joining us at the Horror Hangout live stream. Thank you, Mr. Trash Picture Show. Thank you, Jen and Christian. And thank you, Strange Monkey. And, of course, the Horror Miser Monty G. Have a great night, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Have a good night.
Like
Good night, everyone.
Night, guys.